seen what's possible from Uno Mobile. But now it's 2023 and Uno Mobile Esports is officially here. We will be doing it big with $50,000 in prizing, with 8 monthly finals starting in February all the way through October, with the top players from each making the November massive grand finale. You can be the next Uno Mobile Esports star. Don't miss your chance to compete for free in the Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup monthly qualifiers in-game and battle your way through live monthly finals for a chance at some amazing prizes, a spot in the grand finale, and a whole lot of unpredictable fun. This is the beginning of Uno Mobile Esports. Do you have what it takes?
Uno! Reverse. Uno. Reverse. Reverse. Uno! Reverse. Uno. Uno.
Uno Mobile Esports is here in 2023, and each month we are hosting a series of in-game competitions leading up to the monthly live finals in February, March, April, May, July, August, September, and October. The top 2 players from each of our live monthly finals will not only walk away with some cold hard cash, but also earn a spot in our yearly grand finals in November. You won't want to miss this intense competition, so get involved now in-app and enjoy some unpredictable fun. Welcome into the Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup August finale. So let's bring in our other caster. We please welcome back Pancake Pal into the booth.
Oh, with that Discord all.
Pal, wait, it's over. It's literally over already. Kim feeling fantastic right at the discard all and the wild punch. Rosella can swap back if it stays on 7. 7,
The
7.
risk.
Four Eyes grabs it.
on. Uno.
Oh my goodness.
Rosella's got Uno as well. 3 players with Uno. What's even better? 4 ice down to 0. Can anyone do anything? Goes down to Uno. Not gonna matter. 4 ice plays it in a dramatic fashion. 2 seconds left. Doesn't even let the time go down.
Oh my God, I'm in disbelief right now. Well, I just want to give a shout out to my beautiful daughter, Maya, and my wonderful husband, Daniel. That's it. Thank you guys. Awesome. Yeah, I'm so excited.
Uno. Uno!
Uno Mobile Esports is here in 2023, and each month we are hosting a series of in-game competitions leading up to the monthly live finals in February, March, April, May, July, August, September, and October. The top 2 players from each of our live monthly finals will not only walk away with some cold hard cash, but also earn a spot in our yearly grand finals in November. You won't want to miss this intense competition, so get involved now in-app and enjoy some unpredictable fun. Players from all over North America battled their way through a series of qualifiers, with the 16 best making it to our Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup. Our finalists will be playing with the same rules they used in the qualifiers: classic solos, stack, and our one house card rule, discard all. We will also be adding a new rules wheel spin that will determine the 4th and final rule for each stage of the competition. We will spin the wheel before the group stages, semifinals, and finals, and will add in one of the 4 rules shown: 0-7, Wild Punch, Open Draft, or Color Challenge. Competitors will work their way through a 16-player bracket, with the top 2 players from each match moving on to the next round, all the way to the grand finals. Instead of relying on score, our matches will continue to be played until the first player reaches 3 wins. That player will move on to the next round, along with the player with the second best record. If players are tied in wins, we'll have that covered in the rulebook. Finally, if you make it to the grand finals match, you will be playing for your share of the $5,000 prize pool, along with a unique in-game title and a pile of diamonds. Good luck, and may the best player win. You've seen what's possible from Uno Mobile, but now it's 2023 and Uno Mobile Esports is officially here. We will be doing it big with $50,000 in prizing, with 8 monthly finals starting in February all the way through October, with the top players from each making the November massive grand finale. You can be the next Uno Mobile Esports star. Don't miss your chance to compete for free in the Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup monthly qualifiers in-game, and battle your way through live monthly finals for a chance at some amazing prizes, a spot in the grand finale, and a whole lot of unpredictable fun. This is the beginning of Uno Mobile Esports. Do you have what it takes? seen what's possible from Uno Mobile, but now it's 2023 and Uno Mobile Esports is officially here. We will be doing it big with $50,000 in prizing, with 8 monthly finals starting in February all the way through October, with the top players from each making the November massive grand finale. You can be the next Uno Mobile Esports star. Don't miss your chance to compete for free in the Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup monthly qualifiers in-game and battle your way through live monthly finals for a chance at some amazing prizes, a spot in the grand finale, and a whole lot of unpredictable fun. This is the beginning of Uno Mobile Esports. Do you have what it takes? Uno Mobile Esports is here in 2023, and each month we are hosting a series of in-game competitions leading up to the monthly live finals in February, March, April, May, July, August, September, and October. The top 2 players from each of our live monthly finals will not only walk away with some cold hard cash, but also earn a spot in our yearly grand finals in November. You won't want to miss this intense competition, so get involved now in-app and enjoy some unpredictable fun.
Reverse. Uno. 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 Reverse. Uno. Uno. Uno.
You've seen what's possible from Uno Mobile, But now it's 2023 and Uno Mobile Esports is officially here. We will be doing it big with $50,000 in prizing, with 8 monthly finals starting in February all the way through October, with the top players from each making the November massive grand finale. You can be the next Uno Mobile Esports star. Don't miss your chance to compete for free in the Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup monthly qualifiers in-game and battle your way through live monthly finals for a chance at some amazing prizes, a spot in the grand finale, and a whole lot of unpredictable fun. This is the beginning of Uno Mobile Esports. Do you have what it takes?
Uno! Reverse. Uno. Reverse. Reverse. Uno! Reverse. Uno. Uno.
Uno Mobile Esports is here in 2023, and each month we are hosting a series of in-game competitions leading up to the monthly live finals in February, March, April, May, July, August, September, and October. The top 2 players from each of our live monthly finals will not only walk away with some cold hard cash, but also earn a spot in our yearly grand finals in November. You won't want to miss this intense competition, so get involved now in-app and enjoy some unpredictable fun. Welcome into the Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup August finale. So let's bring in our other caster. We please welcome back Pancake Pal into the booth.
Oh, with that Discord
wait.
all.
Pal, wait, it's over. It's literally over already. Kim feeling fantastic. Right at the discard all and the wild punch. Rosella can swap back if it stays on 7. 7,
The
7.
risk.
Four Eyes grabs it on Uno.
Oh my goodness.
Rosella's got Uno as well. 3 players with Uno. What's even better, 4 eyes down to 0. Can anyone do anything? Goes down to Uno. Not gonna matter. 4 eyes plays it in a dramatic fashion. 2 seconds left. Doesn't even let the time go down.
Oh my God, I'm in disbelief right now. Well, I just want to give a shout out to my beautiful daughter, Maya, and my wonderful husband, Daniel. That's it. Thank you guys. Awesome. Yeah, I'm so excited.
Uno.
Uno Mobile Esports is here in 2023, and each month we are hosting a series of in-game competitions leading up to the monthly live finals in February, March, April, May, July, August, September, and October. The top 2 players from each of our live monthly finals will not only walk away with some cold hard cash, but also earn a spot in our yearly grand finals in November. You won't want to miss this intense competition, so get involved now in-app and enjoy some unpredictable fun. Players from all over North America battled their way through a series of qualifiers, with the 16 best making it to our Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup. Our finalists will be playing with the same rules they used in the qualifiers: classic solos, stack, and our one house card rule, discard all. We will also be adding a new rules wheel spin that will determine the 4th and final rule for each stage of the competition. We will spin the wheel before the group stages, semifinals, and finals, and will add in one of the 4 rules shown: 0-7, Wild Punch, Open Draft, or Color Challenge. Competitors will work their way through a 16-player bracket, with the top 2 players from each match moving on to the next round, all the way to the grand finals. Instead of relying on score, our matches will continue to be played until the first player reaches 3 wins. That player will move on to the next round, along with the player with the second best record. If players are tied in wins, we'll have that covered in the rulebook. Finally, if you make it to the grand finals match, you will be playing for your share of the $5,000 prize pool, along with a unique in-game title and a pile of diamonds. Good luck, and may the best player win. You've seen what's possible from Uno Mobile, but now it's 2023 and Uno Mobile Esports is officially here. We will be doing it big with $50,000 in prizing, with 8 monthly finals starting in February all the way through October, with the top players from each making the November massive grand finale. You can be the next Uno Mobile Esports star. Don't miss your chance to compete for free in the Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup monthly qualifiers in-game, and battle your way through live monthly finals for a chance at some amazing prizes, a spot in the grand finale, and a whole lot of unpredictable fun. This is the beginning of Uno Mobile Esports. Do you have what it takes?
Unbelievable. Listen to their celebrations.
Oh my God.
I don't even know how I did it, but I did it.
No way, dude.
Well, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, no matter where you are in the world. Welcome into the Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup Monthly Finals. And it's September. We've been doing this all year, and I'm excited to be back as your host. I'm Gojj, and yes, I have a very nice hat on because we're celebrating the Space Collection, which I'll talk more about here shortly. Yes, I'm Gojj. I've been your host the entirety of this year, and I'm excited to be your host today for the September Finals. And I gotta remind you at home, if you're watching this show, how have you not downloaded Uno Mobile for free in the iOS or Android Google Play stores? It's such a fun game, and we've had an incredible series throughout the year of playing through in-game qualifiers. The only way you can compete is through the game, so go download it for free right now. And go follow Uno Mobile on all major socials, by the way. We are live on a modicum of different platforms. We are all over the place. Here on YouTube, where I'm hanging out in the live chat, of course, on Twitch, on TikTok, we're on Facebook, and of course, they're always posting new updates on all the other social medias. And they have a thriving Discord community you can be a part of as well. So go get involved now on all of those socials. You can type in !socials to pull up all those links. Now, folks at home, I know what you're waiting for. You know what's coming. It's time to drop our first giveaway of the day. We're going to be having these all day today. Here's your first gift code. If you've downloaded the game, if you click that cogwheel in the top left-hand corner, scroll down to gift code and click the redeem button, you type in Party Time 9. Party Time and the number 9. That code will get you 250 coins and 5 diamonds to start the day. Excited to continue to give away more codes down the line. Just stay tuned to the show. Don't worry. I'll keep you updated when they're coming. But again, it is Party Time 9, and excited to continue to give more stuff away. We've got a lot more coming. And speaking of what we've been doing throughout the entirety of the year, let's head over to a very short video to talk about what you've seen over the last several months.
Uno Mobile Esports is here in 2023, and each month we are hosting a series of in-game competitions leading up to the monthly live finals in February, March, April, May, July, August, September, and October. The top 2 players from each of our live monthly finals will not only walk away with some cold hard cash, but also earn a spot in our yearly grand finals in November. You won't want to miss this intense competition, so get involved now in-app and enjoy some unpredictable fun.
Timber. We've had this competition over several months now, and we only have 1 more month to go before the grand finals in November. So 2 more winners and 4 more people heading to the grand finals in November, 2 to be decided today. Speaking of today, let's talk a little bit more about what you're going to see in today's competition. Let's head to the next video.
Players from all over North America battled their way through a series of qualifiers, with the 16 best making it to our Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup. Our finalists will be playing with the same rules they used in the qualifiers: classic solos, stack, and our one house card rule, discard all. We will also be adding a new rules wheel spin that will determine the 4th and final rule for each stage of the competition. We will spin the wheel before the group stages, semifinals, and finals, and will add in one of the 4 rules shown: 0-7, Wild Punch, Open Draft, or Color Challenge. Competitors will work their way through a 16-player bracket, with the top 2 players from each match moving on to the next round, all the way to the grand finals. Instead of relying on score, our matches will continue to be played until the first player reaches 3 wins. That player will move on to the next round, along with the player with the second best record. If players are tied in wins, we'll have that covered in the rulebook. Finally, if you make it to the grand finals match, you will be playing for your share of the $5,000 prize pool, along with a unique in-game title and a pile of diamonds. Good luck, and may the best player win.
Well, a lot on the line, and of course, skill on display with all the players that have made it through the qualifiers. And you heard those extra little rules in there. We are going to be spinning the wheel of rules again. This time, who knows what it'll land on. But I can't do this myself. I can't just hang out here, just me and you in the chat. I gotta bring in our co-cast for the day. Katie Bedford is back in the booth with us. Katie, so excited to have you back. How are you feeling?
I am feeling wonderful. Better now that I've seen you in that fabulous space-themed hat, Gojj, and really excited to see what happens with the Wheel of Rules, because I think that could really throw a wrench into some of these players' plans.
Yeah, exactly. You have to be able to think on your feet when we talk about what makes an esports star, right? It's not only all the prep, prior planning, but it's also about you being able to think on your feet. So we're going to test that today with our wheel. Katie, before we get involved, I have already given some people at home some things to chew on, some rewards, but let's warm up their typing fingers. Folks at home, get ready to type in the chat. It's our first trivia of the day. Here it is, Katie. In what year did the first humans land on the moon? This should be an easy one if you know your history. It's space collection time. Is it A, 1969, B, 1966, C, 2019, or D, 2023? Did our humans just land on the moon this year? Type in your answers now. This is just a warm-up question, all right? Well, it's not B, so if you think this is something that maybe happened a little bit further back than only a couple years ago, I think there's an obvious answer here, but you tell me. Is it A, C, it's not D, is it 2019, or is it A, 1969? It is A, Katie. The first humans landed on the moon in 1969.
Well, Gojj, I was jockeying between A and B there. I've got to be real with you, but I'm not a history buff. In the end, we got there. And I know that chat far smarter than I, so I'm sure everyone got that right away. And I love the trivia on these. It's always a ton of fun.
Yeah, we've got to celebrate our space collection. Folks, if you haven't started on your space collection, go get involved now. Earn all of your space collection items. You got to get it. I'm wearing the hat just for you to remind you. But, Katie, more importantly, let's talk about Uno Mobile Esports. Let's talk about the rules today in particular. Talk me through what we're going to see, because we recognize some of these rules.
Yes, we do. We're going to start things off in the quarterfinals, and it's going to be the top 2 players in each group. There's 4 total groups that move on to the semis. And how does that work? Well, the first player to get 3 Unos will take the first spot, and whoever did second best in their group of 4 players moves on along with them. So you have a chance to survive, Gojj, and make it into the semis and even the finals, potentially, depending on how you play it out. And of course, we have those discard all functions and stacking, which makes things very impactful depending on how you play.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Again, stack is a huge rule, of course, to be able to draw 16 cards potentially, but that discard all is what's been so dynamic in every single one of these shows. But speaking of dynamic, Katie, it's time to spin the wheel to see what all of our group stage competitions will be utilizing. This is our extra rule. If you watch the explainer, this is what we were talking about. Which rule will it be for the group stage? Here we go. This time around, it looks like it's going to be 0-7. Talk about changing up the game, Katie.
No kidding. And 0 and 7s, that is going to throw a wrench that I talked about into some of these players' plans, because if you have a 0, if you have multiple 7s in your inventory, that could really, really change the flow of a game. No one's Uno is safe when we have the 0 and 7 rule in effect.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The 0-7 rule is a fun one. Of course, for those at home that don't know the 0-7 rule, you're going to see a lot of hands changing. Of course, if you play a 0, all hands move in the order of play. So all of your hands, all of your cards are going to be passed to the next person. And if you play a 7, you can choose to change hands with somebody. So talk about a mix-up, talk about a shake-up. Get ready to think on your feet if you're a player. Let's take a look at those players, Katie. Let's take a look at the bracket and see who's going to be lining up against who. Because yes, there are some familiar names, but a lot of new ones as well. Let's start up in Group A. Which names stick out to you most?
How could we not look at Fun Tickles? That name is going to catch me out right away. And I feel like this person has to have the most fun every time they play Uno.
Yeah, Fun Tickles is here for a good time, but they're also here for a lot of cash. We'll see what they're able to do. TSP, Colby, Dan, some great names there. Group B, we've got Ollie. We've got just Bean, Autumn, Tay, and Eric. So, again, some fun names here. Now, none of these names are names that I recognize necessarily, but in the next couple groups, I think those that have been kind of tuning into a lot of these broadcasts might recognize some of our names. We've got Jordan back, has competed actually in multiple of these monthly finals, back to continue to prove their name. Now, I think they've won a little bit of cash, but they haven't made the grand finals yet, so still trying to get a clutch in the final moments in order to make the grand finals in November. Of course, playing against Money May, Catastrophic, and Chocolate.
Well, take a look at Group D. Who needs less introduction than Korosima? So many Wildcard Series finals that we've seen this player in, and I'm really excited to see how they do this time around.
Yeah, and Amanda, of course, also actually played in the March finals as well. So 2 returning players in this group, a stacked one to say the least. But again, any of these players could win it. It's certainly possible. So I'm glad we got a chance to kind of look at the bracket there and see some of the players and talk about their storylines. It's so cool to see this. Some of these players that are able to return and battle through qualifiers, because no one is given a spot. Everyone has to earn it, Katie. It's so difficult. Thousands of people trying to make it through the bronze to the silver to the gold to the diamond, and it's a difficult process. I've talked to a lot of people at home, even some of my friends that have tried to do it, and it's very, very difficult. So to be back on this main stage again for the second or maybe even third time, truly impressive.
Yeah, and all the players across the board, very impressive. You said it, right? So many players that they had to overcome to get to the point that they're at. And, well, now it's time to go big or go home, Gojj, because in just a couple minutes, we're going to be jumping into our Group A matches. And, well, it's starting right now. And, again, that 0 and 7 rule is in effect. And if we take a look at it, I'm already seeing at least 1 7, 2 7s on the board here for Colby and TSP.
This is such a fun conversation, too, when you talk about 0-7s, because if you have multiple in your hand, which it doesn't look like we currently do, likely that hand's just going to be passed right back to you, especially if they're 7s. But there's the first 0. Somebody said, look, let me just get it out of the way, get my cards out of my hand, let's get somebody else's hands. Everyone's hands are fairly even as a +4 wild is played. And Katie, you already see what's about to happen. You're predicting the future. We're already starting off the first game of Group A with a massive draw. Colby's going to draw 18 cards. Here's the crazy part, though, is by the time we get to Colby's turn again, he can just pass his hand off to somebody else.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? It hurts to see this, but again, you said it. You can pass it off to someone else, and they're not going to be very happy about it. But things are going to get a little crazy here. TSP does have a skip because wants to deny the swap, right? And now only has 2 cards. Unfortunately, though, not going to be able to do a lot with them.
Reverse.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. If you get down to 2 cards, but you know other people have good hands, what do you do? Okay, so Dan is just electing to get rid of the 7 without playing it using the discard all. A strong strategy, especially if Colby can't play a 7. Now, a great reverse there because you know they don't have a red unless you top deck it.
Unless you top deck it, which Dan was able to do. TSP, though, does have a discard all potentially to close something out in fashion if they're able to, but we'll see how this swings around. And it doesn't I wasn't even looking at the right person.
No.
I was looking to my right. I should have been looking to my left. Dan just closes it out like that.
Already in the first game, 0-7's hardly even making an impact just because of the cards that were played. Changed the color, tried to get it off red, Katie, so that they couldn't win, or rather keep it away from the color that was on the screen. Played a green, it just happened to be a 4, so quick and easy win for our first player in Group A.
Wow.
Let's see what happens in the second one.
I have to clean my glasses because I was not respecting Dan the way I should have been. What a play that was. And there we go. We see one of those swaps come in between Colby and TSP and a nice little discard all from Tickles.
Yeah, already the discard all is being played. All that means is we're going to continue to swap hands around. And not a bad swap here for Colby, especially because there's not another 7 on the board. There's actually only 1 0, and it is Fun Tickles that has it. However, they know the color they want, and it's red. So we'll see if somebody changes it off of that.
I'm wondering, because it looks like maybe they're wanting to get that play down. You said it, right? The switch comes in right away. Colby and Dan actually will be able to play off of that. Colby will have to wait as they got a couple cards in the process. But I'm curious to see how this plays out because there's still no 7s, and those are so impactful.
Yeah, Dan's going to hang on to the wild. Not a bad play. We are out of blues at this point as Colby plays his last. Oh, no, doesn't go for it. Instead, it's going to keep that blue just in case. Go ahead and change it to yellow. Now, that's best case for pretty much everybody besides Dan, but still pretty solid.
We'll switch back over to the yellow. Tickles has one available. I wonder if Dan is going to end up perhaps using that wild card to change things around. And, well, the swap comes in and see what happens.
It's so difficult because the only card they could play was the 7, and they had a really good hand, right? So you have to kind of do this battle in your brain of, do I play it, do I not? Now, Dan's in a good spot here. Does not want to change hands.
No.
And if they get the 0 down, they won't have to. But now we got 3 players on Uno, and one of them's a wild card.
Oh no, this is gonna get mixy. It goes to the green.
Well, Fun Tickles is playing the wild instead of the reverse. Doesn't want to risk TSP being able to play, and it paid off. Stayed green. Fun Tickles is your winner of game 2. Honestly, a really smart play, Katie. Because obviously, the players can't see the cards. We can, and people at home can. Had no idea what would happen, but didn't want to risk playing the reverse first and giving the win away to somebody else, albeit that probably wouldn't have been the case. Instead, changed the color to green to keep the flow of play, and then was able to play it. Nobody changed it. Incredible play from Fun Tickles. 2 different winners.
I like that. Keeps things spicy right off the rip. No guaranteed 3 up, 3 down for any of these players, but I'm taking a scan around. I'm not at the time seeing any 0s or 7s.
Draw cards.
A couple +4s means +8 to Colby. And we continue to play cards around the board here. And look, greens are going to run out shortly, and that's okay for the most part. Here's the big question. Do you play the +4 now to make it +6? You don't want to draw cards? Dan's saying yes. Sometimes you just want to take those 2 cards and hold on to the wild, but again, it's 0-7s. The cards are going to change hands a lot, so maybe just get rid of it.
Yeah, you learned something about TSP as well with the +4. Didn't have anything available, nor did Fun Tickles as we continue to move our way around. The reverse comes in. They'll have more reds across the board, but we'll switch it over to yellow. Forces Dan to draw.
I know, and this is where if you're Fun Tickles, I was going to say, if you're going to play the 7, go ahead and play it. Get a hand that's less cards, and you can play from there. You just got to remember that player that is next in order knows what cards you have. Now we know where those cards are all the way over to Dan now. So certainly not, TSP and Dan can't influence each other's cards, but they will know each other's cards.
And that is a lot of skips between Tickles and Dan. And I love that you pointed that out, Gojj, right? Because if their memory's sharp, they should have a very good idea of what multiple of those cards are at that point.
Wow, changes it to the color that Dan needs. Colby, the only one that doesn't know the cards of Dan. Already down to Uno, plays another skip.
Here we go.
Catch a break, and it's just a free win for Dan. Dan walks into his second, Katie.
Easy peasy. I mean, you can't ask for something as clean as that, Gojj. You set the color you want, and you watch it go all the way around, end up back at you, say, thank you very much. I'll take my Uno win.
Yeah, it worked out perfectly. And again, 0-7 sometimes can make gameplay chaotic. But when you try to mitigate some of that randomness of who has the 0s, who has the 7s, and hold on to them to the last card, or play them really early so it doesn't really muck up the strategy too much, or make sure you change hands with somebody that can't directly influence you since you know the cards that they're going to have, some of those key features are what some of these players are thinking about.
Well, and take a look at this. You got everyone with a 7 except Colby, who has 2 +4s. That could really shake things up, especially if Dan is playing this now, which will end up on TSP.
Yeah, TSP should draw 10 here. Honestly, best case for Colby. Colby needs to get rid of these +4 wilds because somebody's going to take them from him with the 7.
Yeah, that's the thing, too. A lot of the times we talk about that strategy to hold on to the wilds. Well, with 0 and 7, that's not the case because anyone has the potential to take your cards.
Yellow.
There's another +6. Everybody electing to add to the card total draw rather than just take 2 cards and hold on to the wild. Likely because of what we just talked about, 0s and 7s. 2 players at 2, 2 players at a ton.
And we'll see. I mean, Fun doesn't have a green, does pull a yellow on top of it. Oh, man, if you're Dan there, you wish you had a discard all. That would have been nice.
And speaking of the discard all, nice play from TSP to try to battle their way back into it and quickly has to draw again. But again, all it takes is a 0. And
I think it's a green. Doesn't need it, though.
If a 0 can be played from anyone, TSP is out of the weeds here.
There we go. Well, we do get a swap between Tickles and Colby, and there is going to be another swap happening now. But Colby, do you do the swap as well? That's exactly what happens. They're all shuffling, and well, it ends up right back where it started.
I think you just hit another swap. TSP, get the cards out of your hand. Everybody has now touched the original cards of Fun Tickles. Now TSP in the lead, and right back she goes. Talk about 0-7s. This is the gameplay I was expecting as it goes back yet again.
This is never going to end at this rate. We're just going to be swapping cards around forever.
Uno.
Forever until maybe somebody hands a free green card over the TSP. We'll see. It goes yellow and reverse. Colby can discard all here, which should lead to an easy play from Dan to go to 2. No draw, TSP and Dan, the 2-on-2 cards. You can see their totals as well. Dan in the best spot easily. As long as no cards get changed hands here in the next 30 seconds or so, Dan should win this.
Well, yeah, and now you just have that 3. You're in a really great spot, and, well, you're going to beat out that 4 by just 1. So, wow, if it ends up somehow going back to that green, that could be huge, and it might just.
It stays green. Colby has to change it here unless it goes red. There it is. Dan's got an opportunity. No, doesn't get the top deck draw. And Fun Tickles goes down, and it goes to TSP. It goes blue. TSP grabs a victory.
Oh, my, that's so tragic. That at 10 seconds, there was the forced draw, because if there had just been a little less time, you could have played it out. You win that. But, oh, man, drawing a card like a reverse, oh, that's got to sting a little bit.
Yeah, and I love the updated scores that we get to see as well. Players can't see those scores, but those numbers that pop up in the Spectator client that we use is so crucial because you can see not only who's in first and second with the medals, but how close it truly is. It does the math for you rather than us having to do the math on screen. And that's what we talk about. Those points are so valuable when you're fighting the clock, but sometimes when everybody's fighting the clock and just trying to play cards, somebody can sneak a victory with an easy change of color, and that's exactly what happened. 3 players have wins, but Dan's still in the lead here, Katie, and purveying the field, several +4 wilds and a couple 7s.
Blue.
Yeah, a lot of those +4s probably, there we see it starting to get used now, unfortunately will stop at Fun Tickles and swings over to green. Just 2 +4s now, but I'm wondering what TSP is going to end up doing with that 7.
Yeah, this is, again, so many conversation points around the 0-7s because they're so chaotic. And there's an early 7 being played there. Fun Tickles is going to go ahead and take those cards. Now, TSP knows not only I have a 7, I could theoretically play it. Fun Tickles has a 7 as well. I just gave away a 7, which means they're going to have to get cards out of their hands or change that hand with another player. Fun Tickles, you play it, but you just gave Colby a massive setup.
That is so interesting to give over the +4, and it gets played. But you are telling people, unless there's a bluff, that you have green. So now everyone else knows, Gojj.
Yeah, you are telegraphing the green.
There we go. No surprise on that.
And that's just a free +4 there onto Colby. Goes for the challenge because why not? But that just means you're drawing 6. Now that likely means, I was going to say, you try to draw a 0 or a 7 to change hands with another player. So sometimes drawing a lot of cards when you're down is not a bad take.
No, I mean, it's not, especially, I was wondering if they had the opportunity. That is a hefty discard all. But look at Dan now in position with a 1, Gojj.
You just got to get to the color of the 0 or 7 you're trying to play. There's the blue. It should stay blue, which means TSP could change. No, it goes 0. Colby takes it. Job's not done, though. Fun Tickle's going to have them draw cards. Colby, still in the game.
Ooh, still in the game. Dan, maybe a little salty about that one, but that 7 from Fun Tickles still holding on to it. And we've only got 40 seconds left.
Yeah, you got to play the wild here because you don't want to give away an Uno with a wild card. Chance to win and in the lead with only 7 points showing here, Katie. 28 seconds remaining. Yellow means likely you'll have a draw. If you can draw a decently low card, you should be fine. Oh, nice top deck. That could seal the victory.
Huge. That very well might with 15 seconds left.
Yep,
and it
there it is.
Right into Fun Tickles. Don't mind if I do. Throws down the 7. Not even trying to swap cards, Gojj, because you don't have to.
Well, Group A turned out to be a pretty spicy one. 3 different players with wins, but 2 players with 2 wins already. And 1 player with only 1. Again, top 2 players are moving on. So if either of the top 2 players win on this next one, that's Group A done and dusted, and those 2 players are moving on. I will say, by the way, seeding-wise or anything like that, being first in your pool or being second in your pool really doesn't matter that much. Now, you want to win because of the eco, but if there's an opportunity to set up, like if Dan sets up Fun Tickles or vice versa, you take that win because you're both moving on.
Well, you wonder that at that point, would you almost want to swap cards with someone who's about to win if you're Dan or Tickles saying, just take it, just end the game?
Yeah, no, I think that's not a bad strategy. If you can't win on your turn, but you could set somebody else up to win on their turn, something to think about. All right, quick 0 means Fun Tickles has a nice 3-card victory currently lined up with a +4 and a +2. Likely going to change again. But with not a lot of greens on the board, probably won't change this turn around and take Fun Tickles to 2 and TSP to 2. albeit both red.
That's going to be a big discard all. Actually adds the +2, and there we go. Dan setting it up, pushes TSP away from that victory, and now there's no real stopping it. I think at this point you could reverse into the reverse Gojj.
Whoa.
But if you get a skip onto this one, it's going straight to a Fun Tickles dub.
It's a Fun Tickles dub regardless. Fun Tickles wins, and Dan's happy about it. Fun Tickles and Dan will both be moving on into the next round. Very well played, Group A, I might add. Sometimes with 0-7s, there's this kind of era of like, oh, there's some randomness. Who has the 0s, who has the 7s? All these players played it fairly confidently, used it to their advantage when they could, and then just burned the 7s when they needed to, when everybody had a ton. Very fun way to start off our September monthly final.
Yeah, and you've got to feel good about that, but let's see how Fun Tickles was able to get to those 3 victories alongside Dan with 2 in second place.
And I will say, too, Group A already showed us one of our biggest draws we've ever seen, which was +18.
Yes.
I think we've only beat that maybe one time over the last several months now. Maybe our September monthly final will be able to beat it, but taking a look at some of these replays. Again, sometimes cards are flying, time's running out, and you've just got to lay a card down and you've set up your opponent and you don't know it. But sometimes these are tactical wins. Here, Dan was able to play a 2 there to win, but with a couple of these draws, ton of discard alls being played, Katie. I think some of my favorite moments were these right here, where you're looking back and saying, did the 7 help me or did it hurt me?
Well, yeah, especially considering you might think that you're making that play, Gojj, with the 7, but you don't know how many 7s other players have, and suddenly they're all flying in different directions.
Yeah.
Well, the cards you really wanted ended up with Dan or Tickles.
Yeah, and the 0's a fun one, too, because it changes everybody rather than you being able to choose. So the 0 actually set up Colby really well for his win, but the end of the day, Tickles on top. Let's take a look at the scores, take a look at the wins. Of course, scores are nice, but wins are everything. If you don't have wins, you don't have anything. The top 2 players moving on, which means Fun Tickles and Dan, will be moving on to the next round.
Well, and take a look at that, too. Even if it had ended up in a 3-way 2-win tie, really, for them, those scores were hefty for Dan and Tickles with the 460 and 389. But they will be moving on to their respective semi-groups, which means it's time for Group B. Autumn, Eric, Ollie, and Bean. And yeah, I got to root for Bean just because I love the confidence of just naming yourself that you are one singular Bean, Gojj.
That's exactly right. I don't want to choose favorites. I'm a fan of all of our Uno Mobile players, but I do love the Bean name. We'll see what they're able to do here in Group B. And it's always a fun conversation because at some level it's guesswork, right? Like, we haven't seen these players before. They haven't proved themselves on main stage yet. Will they play hyper aggressive? Will they burn their +4 wilds early? Will they hold on to them? Those are the classic conversation points. But again, 0-7 changes everything. And we're using that rule set throughout all of our group stages. When we get to those semifinals, we're going to see a change up with the rule. We're going to spin the wheel and see which rule we'll be using. And these players don't know it. We don't know it. I'm excited to see which one it'll be. But for now, it's 0s and 7s, Katie. Let's jump into game 1 of Group B and see how it goes. Already starting off with a 7 immediately to get things going.
I'm just saying, Bean also has a cat as their profile picture, Gojj. It's meant to be the synergy we have, so all I'm saying.
Speaking your language, indeed. A 0, swapping cards around. Something else that's worth noting, it's funny to talk about it in this way with Uno, but like, you are gathering information, right? When you play a 0 or a 7, it's a way of gathering information of the cards on the table. You're passing cards off that you hand it to somebody else. Now, you gotta have a steel trap memory. It's difficult to memorize all these cards and their drawing, but at some level, you know at least a couple cards that each of these players can have if several of those 0s or 7s are played. Here's the +6 coming in and a couple more wilds across the board.
Well, and Ollie, that might be where you start considering using that 7 to maybe take out Tay's cards and swap things around. I wouldn't be surprised, considering it's blue, if we see that happen right about now.
Yeah, it's a perfect setup for a 7. You don't have another one, so you know it's not going to go right back to you. I would be surprised to not see it, and we don't see it. Holding on to the 7 is crazy to me. Now, I will say Ollie might have the strategies that I don't have, but an easy 7 onto Tay maybe could have set you up for success here as Tay goes to Uno.
And that will just be one remaining. However, you could do the swap now. Surely now, Ollie throws down the 7 to swap with Tay.
Come on, Ollie. You've got this. No! Changes color instead. Wants to weed out the cards in their hand. Eric's going to take care of it. Tay's going to take...
Don't mind if I do.
Tay's going to take it right back.
Okay. My goodness, this is... I wasn't expecting these plays from Ollie, but I'm liking them. It's keeping things weird. A big discard all does mean...
Uno.
What a top deck from Tay to
Huge.
keep it on Uno.
Red.
As we go red here, Eric is actually set up near flawlessly, had 3 different colors, but had a discard all for every color they had in their hand. Ollie has to draw. Now Eric can set up, goes to 2, albeit it's blue. Now, technically, Eric wins here, especially over Tay.
But
It goes back to blue, and it goes back to blue. A free win for Eric out of nowhere. Tay set up for success.
Ollie.
Tay had the chance to win, but Eric grabs the victory.
Ollie is setting everyone else up for victory, and I respect the generosity in these plays.
Yeah, and I think it's just a part of 0-7s. Like, you gotta know when to do it. And sometimes you do want to hang on to that 7, but when somebody's on Uno, it's worth swapping. And especially if you don't have another 0 or a 7 in your hand, that's something to look out for. Who knows, though? Look, Ollie could make it here to the finale. And we have no idea. We can see all the cards, and they can't. So, obviously, we've got the overhead POV. And speaking of the overhead POV, talk about wilds. Eric sitting pretty with 2 wilds.
Blue.
Several, or at least at 1-0, 2 zeros on the side of
Draw
Bean.
4.
Means hands will change several times. Now having to draw, though, not looking as good.
Let's see. All right, throw down the 1 and Bean, no surprise. Again, I think if there's one thing we've seen, Gojj, it is everyone getting rid of those +4s sooner rather than later because of the threat of those 0s and 7s.
Yeah, and good shout here, too, by the way. It is Erica R, so we'll be calling Erica R by their name. Sometimes I truncate the names here, Katie, just to get them out faster because the cards move so fast, but shout out to Erica.
Draw 2.
Playing flawlessly thus far, looking for a win again. And still Ollie looking so strong right now with 2 wilds, especially if they can keep it red. Everybody kind of biding their time and getting cards out of their hands. Bean's got to get it to yellow or green, though, to get these cards out of their hand.
Yeah.
And with the flow of play, that means Bean will get all these cards.
Yeah, and I think that's huge, too. Of course, the failed challenge as well as Erica trying to shift it away. Does know on the red you want to avoid that, but now you got to put down that wild. That's exactly what happens. And the red signal again. It's keep away from Ollie at this point.
It's a smart play. The red goes huge. It's actually going to just net them the victory, I think, here. Ollie should just grab a win.
Yep, there we go.
We talked about Ollie's strategies before. Let Ollie do Ollie things. Ollie grabs their first victory. Very well done. If you don't, if you try to bluff there, Katie, you change it to yellow or green, Ollie doesn't win that because that 0 will be played by the next player. A huge play to just say, nope, I've got a red. I'm going to tell everybody I have a red. And it's going to be no problem. Worked out in the end. Great win by Ollie.
Yeah, now it's Ollie and Erica on the board. We'll see if someone else can match them, or maybe we'll get at Uno point here at the end of this round. But let's take a swing around. 2 players with 7s, Ollie and Bean, and we'll see if they get utilized this time.
Is there something about playing them early that just kind of hurts your soul? Because it's like, I just got these cards. I'm comfortable with them. I want to play them.
I'm attached to my cards.
Especially if all things are fairly equal. Bean's going to go ahead and burn it, though. Just going to get it out of the way. Start the flow of maybe changing hands. We'll see. Ollie has a chance to change color. Either way, hands are going to be changed. Goes with the 0. Move things along. And Ollie actually gets the only other 0 on the board.
And it's going to be that 4 played out, swinging over to red, but it's everyone with 4s, apparently, to just keep things moving. Another 4 4s on top of it. Do we finally get a wild from Ollie? I assume yes, considering you're not going to want to pull a card at this point. 2 minutes remaining, and Ollie just 3 cards away, Gojj, from being at match point.
I know, and it's such a difficult task to hold on to the 0 to the last card, but at this point you almost have to because you only have 2. And if you give away your hand, it's the winning hand, right? You're going to go down to Uno and give it to somebody else. Now we go red here, +4, +4 on top of that. Ollie's now not even close to Uno, having to draw 8.
No, and that's got to sting a little bit. It's so close, but those +4s always throwing people for a loop, as Autumn, unfortunately, is about to find out. Bean will need a draw, though. Interesting. Doesn't have something to work with, and unfortunately, the top deck not helping.
Erica is in one of the better positions.
Yeah.
The problem is she only has blue. So if it changes to any other color, we're hosed. Now, Autumn Tay only has
interesting.
blues, and Erica knows Autumn only has
Yeah.
blues. So Erica can stay away from blues at all costs and keep Autumn from basically being able to play, especially those 7s. Well, there it goes.
Ooh.
Already changed his hands. Now everybody knows that Bean has all blues. And as it goes back, talk about the 0s, talk about the 7s. Just forget I said anything.
And we're going to get that skip in, but it's only 40 seconds. Keep a watch on Autumn, who's in first place with a nice amount of cards. And I don't know how anyone else is potentially going to catch up because they all have higher value cards unless you throw in a discard all like that out of Bean.
Discard all trade goes crazy. Bean has to draw and gets the top deck to stay in it. Stays on Uno. They know it's not red, so they're going to keep it red.
But a 0.
0 drawn and a 0 played. Ollie now not even in first, in second with 2 cards because Bean cards are so low. Draws on top though. Ollie in the play. 9 seconds remaining, Katie. Ollie in the lead. You can't filibuster this. You have to draw, I think.
I think.
Barely.
Wow.
No.
Wait.
It was Autumn Tay. So this is what happened. I saw the timer when it
Help
was
me out here,
Ollie's.
Gojj.
When it was Ollie's turn,
Yes.
there was 6 seconds left on the
Yes.
clock. When you're in the final minute, you only have 5 seconds to play. So if you don't play a card in those 5 seconds, the next second goes by as the animation goes and it's the next player's turn, but it forces you to draw a card. So the point totals at the end actually put Autumn Tay at the top because the card that Ollie had to draw at 0 seconds put them into second place. Crazy win. Such a unique circumstance. I love that we get to see those on main stage.
Well, we're going to swing right into the next one as 3 of our 4 contestants all have wins. And well, we've got some wilds across the board, but I'm looking and not a 7 in sight to worry about just yet.
And not a 0 either. So some traditional Uno going on, at least for the moment. But even still, we're seeing the +4 wilds played extremely early, as the nature is with 0-7s. +16 to Autumn. And a 7 and a 0 being drawn.
Has discard alls for every single color, though, for Tay.
Yeah, that's actually huge because it allows you to not have to play the 0-7s, which you usually want to do with this many cards. But I agree, the discard alls are huge at this point to potentially go out before anybody even thinks you're a threat.
This is massive if Tay can turn this into a win.
If everybody's paying attention here, Katie, they know that Tay doesn't have certain colors.
Right.
We'll see, but they're just playing. Everybody's trying to get rid of cards. Here we go. A chance
now you
to
have
go
to
out.
know that it's got to be presumably reds that are all you have left.
Yeah, you have to know that, right? You don't know necessarily they have another discard all.
Yeah, true. They've pulled other cards as well.
Ollie!
No, surely not. Oh, Bean, you fallen into a trap and you don't even know it. Autumn Tay gets the +16 into the win, Gojj. What in the world? That might be the fastest turnaround of cards on a stack I've ever seen.
That's the best comeback moment I've ever seen in an Uno Mobile broadcast. From going to drawing +18 to just 5 turns later, winning the game completely out of cards. Fantastically executed. And honestly, a gift there from Ollie, changing it to red. No one else was able to do anything about it, but there's the early 7s. Let's see what happens in this one. This is match point, by the way. If Autumn can get another win, Group B is done.
And what's even crazier, Gojj, is that I think Erica has a single point lead in a tiebreaker over Ollie since they both have match wins here for second place.
Great shout. Erica could potentially move on here by 1 singular point if Autumn Tay closes this thing out. But a long way to go. See what Autumn does. Likes to stack as per the usual. Erica is going to catch 8 on that. And as we go green, that's great for Ollie.
Reverse.
Likes to reverse it.
Nice little discard all, though. Oh, unless they choose not to, actually. And that'll actually stack all the way back onto Ollie.
Yeah, I was going to say, those are always the hard decision-making factors, is when to play the discard all and when to play some of those action cards. But here we go.
Autumn's in good position here.
Okay, discard all again. Autumn goes down to 1 card, but there's some 0s on the board here, Katie.
Oh, no.
Erica can move the flow of play. Instead, just elects to skip, and it's a skip battle back and forth. Erica draws into some 3. Autumn
No.
K gets the victory. Not only is Group B finished, but Erica just gave the win to Autumn Tay and just unknowingly likely gave themselves a second place finish by 1 singular point with that 3.
The fact that there was the color change, but it was still the 3. Autumn Tay played those so well. And you said it right, Erica might have handed over the win, but might also handed themselves over a win too.
I mean, you've got to be sick. If you lose a tiebreaker by one point. As we take a look at some of these replays, just to further emphasize this, we'll take a look at that leaderboard in a second. 1 point is not just 1 card. 1 point is the difference in having a 3 at the end or a 4 at the end. It's that close. Talk about splitting hairs. We've already, Katie, we're taking a look at some of these replays. We're seeing kind of classic Uno Mobile moments of these discard all wins that you just saw. But we are also making history with the best comeback I've ever seen and the closest margin I've ever seen moving on to a next round.
And what I love out of the Community Cup September group, Gojj, is that they haven't been afraid across the first 2 groups to challenge other players. They haven't always worked out, but I love that they're willing to risk it.
Yeah, totally agree. There's a plus 16.
We know how that ended.
There it is. Look, when you get a discard all for every single color and you get gifted every single color that you need, look at this. There's the red. Ollie knew they needed reds and just nobody was expecting Autumn Tay to have a discard all in every color. And so changing it to red, maybe a little bit of a risk. You just didn't expect them to go out. And then Autumn, there's the 3 on the 3 to win it all. Here
look at that.
Incredible scoreline. Of course, Autumn moving on. But when there's 2 players tied in wins, it goes to score. And this is your total score based on your win. And Erica's win was quite literally 1 point better than Ollie's win, which means Erica and Autumn Tay will be moving on. Katie, we got to give a shout out to Bean, of course, for competing today. Just a tough shake of it in Group B. The other players just had a better round.
It's okay. In Bean, we trust, but now we must move on to Group C. And you said it right, Jordan as well, one of those returning faces, but I love catastrophic. That is such a great play on that word.
Yeah, an incredible name, and I'm maybe leaning on Money May here, but Jordan's my guy. Look, I remember Jordan competing through several of these competitions, and I gotta say, Jordan was a heavy hitter, was full aggressive, plays the +4 wilds, tries to make everybody else draw a crazy amount of cards. I'll be curious to see if Jordan can think on his feet enough to make it to the finals again this time around. Excited to see Jordan back in action. Shout out to Jordan for competing now several times here on our monthly finals, but a chance here to still make the grand finale in November. Katie, because we have a moment here, I need to remind everybody, this is September. Next month is the final chance to make the grand finals there in November. So go get involved on all of those qualifiers all in game as we get into our next group.
Let's go take a look now. On the board, I'm already seeing, wow, look at that. Catastrophic has 2 zeros to work with. And I think might actually be the only one with something as that 7 goes out early on.
Can I shout out the emoji deck here, by the way? I think this is the first time we've seen the emoji deck on main stage. A fun one, but here we go. First +4 wild potentially being played from Jordan.
Yellow.
Calculated move, and I said he was aggressive. Gonna go ahead and burn it early. Again, a little bit more common in 0-7s because you don't want your competition to have them. You're kind of banking on the fact that your hand's gonna change at least one time.
Gojj, I think the +4 emoji might be my favorite. Which one's your favorite?
I think I might be in the same category here. Or the zeros having the crying faces on them is honestly so thematic for 0-7s.
Skip.
Actually, that is great, but we're not seeing zeros right now. We are seeing all skips across the board, but that's where they'll stop with Money May. And Jordan not too happy about that with the emoji.
Uno.
Here we go. Already on Uno and having to draw cards, but still stacked. Money May having to draw +4. A chance here. Catastrophic's got to do something about the flow of play. What are you going to do? Discard all and bank on Chocolate not having a blue? Pays off.
Yeah, it pays off, and that gives you great information that Chocolate still doesn't have the blue, but we get the swap in. And Jordan, I love all of the emoji usage. But now multiple players down to just 2 cards. Chocolate at least able to get a top deck and stay at 2.
Blue.
Oh, this is a great color pick from Jordan.
Yeah, and again, when you have information if hands have been changed, super helpful or if you're just kind of guessing, works out in your favor as well. A 5 will change it back to yellow, though. Catastrophic can only play 1 card. That means the cards are moved, which means Chocolate is the one on Uno. Chocolate can't win, not yet.
Not yet, but you're going to hope if you're Chocolate, if you can get it over to Red. But now this is where time is of the essence. Only 50 seconds left, and you can see.
Wow.
Look at the red play, though. It's going to force Catastrophic to draw.
I don't know what that was.
Right over to Chocolate. Thank you very much. Throw them down. That's Chocolate first on the board.
That's brutal. And again, we can see the cards the players can't, and it just worked out there for Chocolate to win it. I saw a yellow 7, though. If you play the yellow 7, you could take one of the low hands there and potentially set yourself up, but I know it's risky because the other person that maybe has 2 cards could win it there. So a play, and unfortunately didn't pay off. We'll see if they can do it next time a little bit better. But Chocolate on the board first. And looking at the board,
Everyone has a 7.
Everybody's got a 7. It means whoever starts the flow of changing hands, it's likely not going to be the first.
Yeah, no, it's gonna get chaotic very quickly. But that +2 stack onto Jordan. Oh, I love the emojis. They make me so happy, Coach. But now the +4, Catastrophic won't be able to answer that one. So Chocolate, and it stays on blue. Not a bad position to be in for Chocolate or Money May.
And do you play the 7 now? You do.
Ooh, wow.
Gonna go ahead and play it. I don't mind the strategy because you can make that hand even better.
Too.
Yeah. You make that hand even better by playing more cards before you play the 7. You almost want to play it early if you look like you have a better hand. Chocolate an opportunity. But yeah, Money May knows what Chocolate has, so he's gonna keep it away from yellow as much as we can. Another 7 being played.
Wow. This could actually be huge, though. I think Catastrophic, potentially. You want it to stay on that blue. Money May, though, not going to let that happen. So if we get down to time, Catastrophic is in a good position.
All right, here we go. Several players knows that Catastrophic only has blues and, well, now a green. They don't know that, but they know the blues are going to help out Catastrophic, so they're going to keep it away. Continuing to change hands and gets the 7 back. Money May in a great spot.
Yeah, that +2, you're going to want to get that out of your hand pretty soon here as well, because time will start working against you. And if it stays on green, that's looking like exactly what will happen, unless Catastrophic switches it over to blue. And there we go. A fast swap to 5 should put Money May on a yellow Uno.
Jordan can only play 2 yellow cards, and they're both changing hands. Lex for the 7 instead of the 0. Money May on 1. +2 comes through.
Oh, that's got to be frustrating, though. You had the moment.
All right, 45 seconds and no clear victor necessarily. Several 7s on the side of Money May. And now an Uno here from Chocolate.
But you have the 7 from May to swap.
You have to. You have to take it.
You have to take it.
Even though you might know they could change it, but a skip saves the day. You gotta get a top deck draw here, and it's a nice draw, down to 4 points, but Catastrophic on 0.
And knows that there's not going to be a red there, and wow, that top deck's gotta be bad. What in the world? And it's Chocolate now still in first place, holding on. There's only 7 seconds left.
Chocolate, not a great draw at the 9, but it's way better than an action card worth 20 points. You can hang out and hang on, and it's a free win for Chocolate just because of the top deck draws from the other 2 players. Another time, we're seeing such a niche scenario where everybody's trying to draw cards quickly, but if you draw a discard all, you draw another action card that you can't play, you've got no chance of winning when it comes down to points, because the other people, even if they draw a card like a 9, one of the highest cards you can draw, aside from an action card, you're still going to win because you might have 16 points. One action card worth 20 points.
Well, Chocolate now, 2 wins in a row could potentially close it out here. Something we haven't seen in a long time. And does have a +4, a discard all, a 0, and a 7 to work with.
I gotta say, too, I gotta remind people at home, this emoji pack, by the way, this emoji deck is available in store if you want to get your hands on it.
So great.
I'm loving the 0s with the crying face. I'm loving the +4 wild emoji as well, Katie. Even the reverse is kind of like lined up with what's actually kind of happening when you play the card. Very smart way they've kind of built this out.
Oh, what a great discard all from Jordan. But if you're Chocolate, And you get a chance to pull out that 7, but do you even get
No.
there? You don't even get there. Jordan says, thank you very much. Throw down the wild. I'm good to go.
Talk about the power of the discard all. Sometimes can't do anything about it, especially when that last card is a wild. Nobody has the color 7 or 0. They need to change hands. Walks away with a very quick victory.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was anticipating that fast of a finish, but Jordan, meaning no 3 in a row here for Chocolate. But if you're Jordan, you got to feel good. You've got to win on the board. So if Jordan wins here, or rather, excuse me, if Chocolate wins here, Jordan's good to go too.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's the fun part about this kind of format is now, especially with 0-7, Jordan can kind of play into Chocolate. Now, the flow of play is actually Chocolate to Jordan. With 0-7s, you can change hands with anybody. So if there's a way to set up Chocolate, just close it out. Don't even give somebody a chance to tie break you.
Right.
That'd be huge for Jordan.
Now we're taking a look. I think the +4s, it's going to be a massive one ending here on Money May.
+16, I believe, going to Money May. That likely means there's going to be even more 0s and 7s in play, and that's exactly what you're getting. A 7 and a 0 of every color, I believe. Money May going to get rid of this hand very quickly.
Yeah, that's going to feel bad for someone pretty quickly here, I think, Gojj. And
There it is.
Some of they're already coming out, but Catastrophic, now you're not even going to wait. You're just sending everyone this deck all
Just
across
keep
the
going.
world.
Oh no, out of 0s this time instead. Just going to change the color up to try to get to a 7 likely. Skip comes through, and I think you're going to see
That's
it
a
here.
nice skip, too, because of that discard all Catastrophic had would have put them on Uno.
Here we go. Is there a 7 to be played or another 0? There's the 7 I thought was in there. I thought I saw a yellow 7 on that draw. Chocolate now on 3. It might stay yellow here, though, and Catastrophic can go to Uno.
Oh,
no.
The 7 comes out. Nice out of Money May. Does Chocolate have anything viable to work with?
I knew there was a lot of 7s and a lot of 0s. It's just going to continue to change hands until they're burned. Here we go. See a +2 here, which will likely be stacked. Should go 6 to Money May. All things fairly equal.
But look at the discard all on red and on blue to be able to get those out of the way pretty quickly. Still not necessarily a bad position as Chocolate forced to take even more cards, but the green, okay, you can get rid of some. I like the switch from the 9.
Jordan
you want it on red if you're Money May.
And Jordan can go Uno here. And Money May's okay with it. No, it goes back to yellow, which puts Catastrophic on Uno as well.
Yeah.
A discard all. Jordan needs a nice top deck here and gets technically in the lead here, Katie. 1-2, 20 seconds remaining.
Yeah. Jordan's in a fantastic spot until that pull of the 6. Catastrophic. Not even maybe that upset on the skip because you're still sitting on the 2. And you get a top deck discard all you can get away with right. Oh my gosh. What a draw.
Catastrophic is going to grab the win here out of nowhere. Doesn't have to draw and grabs a victory.
Wow.
Worst case scenario, too, if you're Jordan, right? You were trying to grab a win, of course, to go to 2, but you're also just trying to give the win away to Chocolate if you can so you can both move on. Now you're tied up with somebody in wins, and it's going to come down to that score. So I'll be curious to see what the total score was after that because there were a ton of cards on the side of Chocolate over there, and it might add up to more than Jordan's original victory.
Yeah, it very well could, but if you're Chocolate, you're just itching to close this out right away. I do see, I think, at least 1-0 on the board. That's for Chocolate, so we'll see how that ends up getting played out.
Looking at the scores at the bottom of the screen, it wasn't as big of a victory as I thought. I think most of those action cards were actually burned, which means it was only a 76-point victory there for Catastrophic. It means it is still Chocolate and Jordan moving on if Chocolate wins.
Green.
Plenty of Uno to be played if that's not the case.
Draw 4.
Decides not to do the challenge. A little bit of emote trash talk going on from all these players, but blue gonna be great for Money May unless a reverse comes in and then maybe a skip. There we go. That'll be an Uno for Money May with just a singular 1-point green card.
Yeah, and Jordan's gonna go ahead and burn this here as well. Unfortunately, hurting Chocolate.
Ooh, but look.
Kind of wants to win.
I think Money May might be actually about to potentially get a swap here if Catastrophic plays this wild. Do you gift the potential green to Money May? Oh,
Yeah,
that would have been crazy.
It was going to be a close one. I mean, you got to make a call, either yellow or green. They made a yellow call. It was huge. Money May does not have a yellow. Everybody knows it. He's
Pulls a 1 and a 2.
Yeah, no, great. Like, set up well for the end game. We still have 1:30 left, so let's see what can happen here. Discard all will be nice. Nobody with a clear path to victory yet, but Money May holding on to 2 points somehow.
That is so massive.
Yep.
All 3
Wow.
of those top decks to Money May have been huge. Every single time.
Ton of 7s on the board, but not a single yellow card to be found. And again, another top deck for a yellow. And we do have some discard alls being drawn, and there's a nice one. Should see several get played here. No, elects to play the action card, and Catastrophic says, yeah, no problem, sure.
Well, and if you're Jordan, do you really want to play the +2 onto Chocolate, or do you want to get rid of that 8?
At this point, Jordan might just be fiending for another victory.
Yeah.
Not going to take any risks here. So many 7s. No one playing them, not yet, but we should see the first one here from Chocolate, potentially. Play the 7. Yeah.
Yeah, no surprise there on getting that out of the way quickly. Puts Chocolate in first place, but a swap and a 7 right back into things. Does have a 0 to work with, too, though.
Yep, there's a nice play there from Chocolate. I think that was fairly calculated. Jordan throwing bombs at Chocolate, but Jordan's, you got to be okay with Chocolate having a nice hand. The Reds go out, have to draw, and only 14 seconds left. I got carried away. We're running out of time here, Katie. Look at the points. Chocolate in the lead, but has to draw here. This is a huge draw, and Jordan's technically winning. Discard all goes down. Money May with a chance to close it out.
Wow.
Drops it to 27. I believe Money May just snuck in a victory. Being able to play that action card wins by 2 points. That's where those counters on our side of things are so helpful. Had 47, but action cards are worth 20, so was able to play it in the final second. 27 versus 29. Money May gets the victory over Jordan. What a ridiculous splitting hairs we've seen in this group.
Well, and Chocolate, I think that final rotation had about 9 seconds left. If that's 5 seconds and they could have just played the timeout, they won, and this is already over. But now everyone with at least 1 win on the board, and I love it. Group C, spicy Gojj, and none of them willing to give it up just yet.
Yeah, okay, the thing worth noting, though, Jordan still has technically the best victory. So when it comes down to time like that, oftentimes those wins are not worth a lot. Now, a win is a win. You take them when you can get them, but Money May's win only 28 points doesn't bode well if Chocolate were to win this, of course. The same 2 players moving on. But if you grab a second win, no matter how good it is, if it's only a 5-point win, it doesn't matter. You grab a second and then a third, you're moving on. Wins are everything.
And this should, from Jordan, be the switch over. Actually ends up being a red. Chocolate still happy to take that. Gets another card out of the way.
Draw 2.
Do anything about the +2. I was trying to chain hands, and now I sent on even more cards. Green, there's a green 0. Catastrophic's only green card. It's going to go ahead and play it. It's a nice play.
And Chocolate maybe regretting a bit how that played out, but another rotation coming in as the 2 goes down, and Catastrophic unfortunately forced to pull more. But Chocolate back in a good position for the most part.
That's exactly right. Now, he does have a 7, so really you want to play that as the last card, so you don't have to change hands. You try to win it here, but got to go to yellow for that to be the case. Jordan could change it to yellow, but it's going to force Chocolate to draw 4 cards. Instead, elects to draw the top deck.
Reverse.
Doesn't get a lot useful.
Oh, no.
Reverse.
But oh wow, if you're Chocolate, if only you knew cards and you could swap with Jordan, my goodness.
You don't know.
Well, Catastrophic
does it first, yeah.
And now at this point, you could potentially play your yellow here 7, change with Catastrophic. But you don't know that that's necessarily the best option, so instead you're going to likely make them draw, which will probably be stacked. I think 2 players at 2 cards.
Well, yeah, and take a look at it, though. It's going to be Catastrophic with 6 total and Chocolate with 10 total to be in second place.
Uno.
Here we go.
Wow.
Down to 3.
Uno.
40 seconds remaining. The 7, though, you have to change hands, and that's okay because you know they have to draw. It actually worked out decent.
Huge draw. Well, if you're Chocolate, unless, of course, Money May comes into the last moment, takes some egg to the face, but happy for the swap. But Jordan says, that is mine, thank you.
This actually works out pretty well. If somebody plays a 0, Money May's got to play the 0 if it goes to red. No goes to green. Catastrophic has to draw. Look, 10 seconds remaining, 13 seconds. Down to 10. Jordan in the lead, but having to draw here. Needs a really solid top deck. No, draws a plus 20. Still technically in the lead, though. A couple discard alls, a couple skips. Will anything change the 0 at the last second? It gives it to Chocolate. Chocolate is your victor. Unknowingly throwing it away to the birds. Saying, sure, I'm throwing away my last card. Can I sneak something out? No. I'm giving the win to the one person I didn't want to win, which was Chocolate. When you saw Jordan was in the lead, you played the 0 and moves hands with the motion of play, gives Jordan the victory, instead giving that victory over, of course, to Chocolate. Ridiculous way to finish out this group.
That was not how I was expecting it to go. But, I mean, if you're Jordan Gojj, it's not potentially the end of the world based on those tiebreaker scores. But let's see how we got to that point, because it was Chocolate who struck first.
Yeah, it actually worked out great if you're Jordan, to be honest. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in a moment. Taking a look at some of these replays, there was a massive discard all. This was Jordan's most dynamic victory, and that's what really set him up to win this overall tiebreaker, right? Such a fast victory like that adds up the total score of all the other players, and that's your score for the win. And because it was so fast, earned a ton of points that way. But for some of those kind of splitting hairs moments, down in the final seconds of the game, 1 second remaining, who has the lowest points? There's Catastrophic's victory that ended up not being as many points as we thought it could be. And again, a lot of playing with the clock today in this group.
Yeah, and I mean, for good reason, right? Because sometimes playing with the clock determined those final wins. Yes, your tiebreaker score was low, but if you got the win, that's most important. And here we see it, the final buzzer beater swap. Jordan hands the win to Chocolate, but you're handing yourself the win too.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to talk about, right? Chocolate grabs the victory there in the final milliseconds of that game with the 0 being played. Nets them 3 wins overall, and of course, a nice score. But then it comes down to a triple tiebreaker going down to score, and because of Jordan's dynamic win with that massive discard all into the wild very early in the game, walked away with a massive 167-point score to win the tiebreaker. So if you're Jordan, you want that win to go to Chocolate just to close it out. Even if you grab 2 wins there, you just don't want a chance for anyone else to make it into it. So that was best case scenario for Jordan. Both moving on. Let's take a look at where they go. Semifinals A will have Chocolate, and semifinals B, of course, will have Jordan. They're split up, and we have one more group to go. We're going to go down to Group D with a couple familiar names.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, do we even need an introduction for Korosima at this point? I don't think so. Diva, Alec, and I think I'm not an anime connoisseur, but it is Sasuke, correct?
We'll go with that. I was going to say Sasuke, but you've got it, Katie.
I'm pretty sure it's Sasuke.
You are.
But we'll let chat correct us if we're wrong.
Sasuke it is. By the way, for those at home that were keeping track, yes, Amanda was a part of this group, and she still is. Just changed her name to Diva. So just keeping everybody on the same page. Diva is Amanda. Look, Korosima is Andy, and Andy has been around the block, as they say, has been a part of a ton of these monthly finals, still trying to earn their way into the grand finals. And I gotta remind people at home, not only are the people trying to make their way to the grand finals, they're trying to make away with a lot of cash too. There's a lot on the line for these players, but there's a lot on the line for you for hanging out with us. There's a giveaway coming soon, right around the corner, right after this group here, Katie.
Right after this group, so you want to make sure to stick around, because it's not just the players here that might be winning, it is you as well. But Gojj Group D is just about to begin, and I love that we're seeing these familiar faces and the consistency out of them to continually get to this stage out of thousands of other people always blows me away.
All right, here we go. I see a couple people in chat saying, great job, Jordan. I totally agree. Jordan, back into the semifinals yet again, but taking a look at Group D. Eva there on the top of your screen, and our emoji pack. Again, you can get it in the store right now if you want to get these incredible emojis on your cards. I like this pack a lot. Seeing that being played immediately, another discard all to put Sasuke in a nice position. Yes, it's a 0, but as your last card, that's okay.
The +2, though, might deny that early victory to Sasuke, and that's so excited and the hopes dashed.
Yeah, and you have a 7 in your hand, which means you're going to have to change hands.
Draw a
Like,
card.
you can't win with the hand that Sasuke currently has unless you draw a discard all. You have to change hands playing either a 0 or a 7. See what ends up being played. At this point, you might just have to draw. Probably best case scenario, to be honest. Now, 2 other players have even better hands. 2 players on 2 cards. We go to blue, which is
Ooh, this could actually be huge because you hit the skip, then Corsiema hits the 2, Alex is forced to draw, and then Diva just...
Oh,
Wow!
barely able to change it with the top deck draw. No, it wasn't a blue.
I was not expecting that.
Which is the only way
Yeah.
that Diva doesn't win there, was drawing a different color card or a wild. And it sets up Andy for a victory. Flawless execution. Corsiema, of course, winning in the first one, but only because of the crazy luck of drawing that 2 that's a yellow to keep it off blue was massive.
I mean, the luck of the draw there, you look at it and surely it ends up on that blue, but wow, a top deck draw like that might be one of the biggest nail biter draws we've seen so far to be able to send that win eventually over to Andy, as you said, but here we go. Everyone into the second match here for Group D, and a couple now, actually at least two of the players, Gojj, were almost at that perfect moment to close it out.
All right, here we go. Couple skips across the board, but Sasuke does draw a 0, which might be useful down the line. Question is, who's going to play that +4 wild first to start the train of stacking? Alex is just going to try to get down to Uno before anybody does it. Smartly, because Alex will be the one that has to draw. Whenever this first +4 wild is played, maybe just a +2 will make Alex draw. Start.
Wouldn't be a bad option to throw out the +4 from Andy now, but does choose to just change things over to yellow. Does Diva use the +4 now? Yep, that's exactly what happens.
That's huge because no stacking will occur. Alex is just going to have to draw it.
Draw 4.
And this actually sets up Andy perfectly to go to Uno if they want to do it, and puts Diva up +8.
That's actually massive. We'll see. And there we go. Added on top of that, you said it right, the +8 to Diva. And Alex, we'll see what card ends up being played. The wild, does it go to a yellow? No. Just for a moment, but maybe a nice top deck keeps it at 2 for Andy. That's big.
Okay, discard all. Music stays on blue. No one on Uno any longer. A +2 being played. There are several, it looks like at least, just 1 7 and 1 0, but they're in the same player's hand. And again, in a position where you can't win with that hand, because you got to give it away.
Potential there, though, if you can keep it on the, I was going to say, if it kept on the discard all and you just had the 0 and 7, that's potentially workable, even though obviously you don't want to use them.
And Sasuke, too, didn't play the 0 if you saw that. Instead, decided to draw a card. And there's the discard all. But again, you can't win with the hand that Sasuke currently has. Got to get rid of these cards some other way. 35 seconds remaining and counting. Currently,
Diva's got to get rid of the wild. Yeah, there we go. Finally, it gets played, but still the numbers game in favor of Sasuke.
Alex goes for the challenge. He's going to have to draw 6 there. Here we go. Able to get away with just playing any other card besides the 0 or 7. Might actually not. I might eat my words here. Maybe you can win with this hand if you don't have to play a card. If it goes fast enough, you have to draw here. You need a low card or a card you can play. No, draws a 4, which is pretty low, but it's not low enough. Diva, by 1 point, grabs the victory. If you draw a 3 there, Katie, or a card you can play, you see a victory go to a different player. That's wild. Again, splitting hairs by 1 point to determine who's the victor. This is a monthly final to remember.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that's multiple times now where we've seen someone in a winning position and they just didn't have enough time on the clock to wait it out and it slips through their fingers. But let's jump right back into it. Corsiema, Diva on the board. We'll see what Sasuke and Alex can get done.
Alrighty. Several wilds, only 1 +4 wild to note.
Blue.
And our 2 players that have been here before, Katie, currently in the lead. So history somewhat repeating itself, or at the very least experience proving helpful. Go to red, back to green. Sasuke again in a really good spot, just can't get anything going, having a 7 and a 0 in their hand. Having trouble winning with that, unless you can hang on to it as the last card, potentially.
Chooses to draw. Yeah, I mean, using a 7 early there, it's just risky because someone else might have 3 cards, but you have no idea what those cards are. We'll swing things back over to green. Oh, wow, I bet Sasuke wishes they had Alex's discard all.
Draw 4.
All right. Nice draw here, and Diva's going to have to do the same. And you get lucky off the top of the deck? No. Neither can Sasuke. Korsiyama now in the lead with 2 cards, albeit both yellow.
Skip.
And that skip not going to be super beneficial. Sasuke, I mean, you're just all pulling greens. That discard all is, you're starting to hope for it real fast. But look, Korsiyama now in that yellow position, but a reverse presumably out of Sasuke here in just a moment.
You don't see the reverse battle. Instead, it stays in the flow of play, and it puts Korsiyama on Uno. Now, there are some 7s to be played here, and technically Diva could play it now instead. Just going to change color with the discard all. Does not want to take the Uno, surprisingly.
Yeah, and I was interested, too, on putting down the 2 instead
another
of
one.
the 8 for Korsiyama, but surely now, there you go. We see the swap come in. Now, at least Korsiyama and Sasuke know what is going on in terms of these cards.
All right. Again, Diva did not want to give away that 7, likely because there's zeros in that hand. So when you change hands, somebody else is going to be able to change the flow of play again on you.
Well, and look, Korsiyama must know Sasuke's only card is that 8 that they held on to, which actually now was a great play because it means that someone else has that higher card and you're sitting on the 4.
All right, 30 seconds remaining and counting. Korsiyama in a great spot, but having to draw again. This could be the nail in the coffin if they... Oh, they draw a discard all! The 1 card to win it all on that turn. You needed a green discard all to win, and you drew it. Korsiyama on top with not only an incredible victory in the final moments of that round, but now on top with 2 wins overall.
Yeah, you got to be feeling really good. You were looking good in that second match. You couldn't get it done, and then you pull the 1 card that you needed to throw things down. Great. Now Korsiyama just 1 away from making it into our semifinals.
Yeah, we talk about the powerful cards in the game. We talk about the +4 wild often. Discard all, of course, at the top of the list or near the top of the list. But in those moments, it is quite literally the only card to give you the victory in that moment. I don't see a world, even with the +4 wild there, that Korsiyama even wins overall with the amount of time left on the timer. Somebody could swap hands in the final seconds and steal that hand away.
We do see Alex and Diva both have 7s and a few 0s across the board as well to work with. I assume that +4 probably going to get thrown down here in just a moment.
Sometimes when I'm playing this game mode, I like to just spam any 0-7s I get as fast as possible, especially
get them out
early in the game. Maybe, yes, get them out, but also just to get information on the cards on the playing field, right? You can kind of learn what's going on really quickly if you play them early without it being some massive issue later in the game, but these players certainly a bit smarter than I am when it comes to Uno. Here we go. There's the first one being played, and it's Diva and Korsiyama both electing to... both here want to win. Likely both want Korsiyama to win just to close this out in a pretty impressive and dominating fashion.
And we'll see. It does draw the 9. We'll see what Sasuke chooses to do. Sends over the +2, which will actually be stacked with Alex all the way over to Diva. And despite that 7 swap, Korsiyama's still in a really good spot.
And I think the bombs being thrown certainly are denoting some frustration there. Korsiyama is able to play it a ton of wilds to the side of Diva. Question is, when do you start playing them? Not a great draw, but at least you've got a variety of colors to be played. Problem is it's a 0.
Oh, and green, that's the last thing you're hoping it gets changed to. And you're sitting at 13, so not the worst case scenario, but you'd really like to start getting rid of some of those cards.
Diva's got to get rid of some of these wilds.
Yellow.
Earn them now. There's the +4. Sasuke has 0 chance on this one, unless a 0 or a 7 are played. A couple of them, of course, on the board. Here we go. Yellow should be free and cleared across the board. Sasuke likely, if it stays yellow all the way through, Sasuke changes the flow of play.
Yeah.
A 0 or a 7 could change it all here. What do? Goes for the 0. Everything's changed, and Urasima can actually answer back with a 7.
Yeah.
Take your hand back if you want to. It's going to do
That's
it.
exactly what happens. A smart play. But look, everyone else has those 7s to work with as well.
Diva could play it here. Needs Kurosima to win, though. What do? You change hands with Kurosima. It's red. Set up for a victory. Sasuke says no. You have to draw a card. 6 seconds and counting. I think Andy has to draw here.
Yeah.
And Diva's going to grab the victory because of the final draw there. It already technically had the lead. Couldn't play. The only thing you were hoping for there, maybe a wild, wouldn't have mattered, though. Drawing out the time. Diva grabs the victory. That means Diva and Kurosima, the 2 players that have been here before, on top, both with 2 wins.
I mean, if you're them now, we're playing duos.
Yeah.
We're playing duos right now. Whoever of those wins, we're both moving on. They've both got that cushion to rely on with those 2 wins. So it's really just keep away from Sasuke and Alex.
Yeah, and I actually saw in the chat, and I think this is the case, they've been here before. They've interacted, I think, in the Discord as well. I think they're friends. So everything working out perfectly, especially if you're Kurosima. 4 wilds immediately at the beginning of this round. Talk about setup for success. Now, it is 0-7s. Hands can change, but let's start moving.
You're going to be able to clear some out early, but Sasuke, if they chose to play that 0, could force a less than ideal setup onto Kurosima.
Yellow.
Here we go. Nice yellow play here. Diva's got a yellow, can continue to play ball. This should just be wild.
Throw out another one. Why not, Gojj? There's more.
Wild after wild after wild, and gonna hold on to the +4 is not a bad idea.
I like to play. Yeah, exactly. Back onto that yellow. You know there's not going to be one available.
Oh no, Sasuke's gonna have to draw a ton of cards here if Diva elects to play it, and does. +12 to Sasuke, and Kurosima is gonna go to 2 cards, and one of those is gonna be a +4 wild. Kurosima set up for success.
No kidding. And I mean, Sasuke, though, does still, if it gets to that point, have that 0 and maybe now a 7, depending on what is drawn. Actually, I don't think drew a 7, but does still have 0s to play.
Could play a 7 here and take Kurosima's hand.
There we go.
Either of you can win, and you both move on. Here we go. Another 7! Can just take it right back.
Do it, Kurosima. Take back your cards. Fulfill your destiny. Actually swaps there with Alex, and not a bad play because, well, a 2 is probably going to win most of the time.
Here we go. Stacks could go green, or you could set up Kurosima for some success here. At this point, you might just want to hedge your... Oh, just going to completely bluff and change it to red instead. Trying to throw some people off.
But now, I mean, the 2 players who don't care who shares the win are in the best positions to close this out.
Here we go.
Oh, nice hot deck drop.
Yeah, it doesn't draw an action card, but a change of hand.
Wow.
Alex now in the 2nd place position. Kurosima has to win it here to close out this group and to move us on to the semifinals. And a red being drawn is nice, but not when you run out of time. Can't play it. Gonna hang on to it. No draws there. We should see a green here from Kurosima.
That's nice to be able to get rid of your highest card at that point. Yep. There we go. Now just with 5. There's only 12 seconds left. Reverses it into Sasuke. What do you do? To swap things around.
Oh, no!
Change everything with the 0. And it's Alex potentially at the very end. And do you have time to steal it back? You don't. It's Alex. Oh my goodness, I was waiting, Gojj, because I knew Sasuke had at least 1 0 in the back pocket.
That's the nature of 0-7s. Anything can happen in the final moments. Kurosima and Diva trying to play together, trying to play each other's hands, swapping back and forth. But no, Alex sneaks in a victory. And now if you're Kurosima, Katie, you're still feeling comfortable, but you're feeling a little bit more worried because at this point, you don't have, honestly, a very strong score for 2 games. So if Alex can grab another victory, you're not moving on if Diva wins. You want to close it out right here, right now, when you have the advantage.
Yeah, I mean, last round, it looked so good for them. And then it's just Alex at the last moment. But let's take a look. A couple wilds around. I'm not seeing any sevens, only one there for Sasuke to maybe throw a wrench into things again.
Yeah, could play.
Blue.
I think it's just going to be wild territory here. Alex couldn't get rid of a free card. Corsima would change. Nope, just elects to burn the wild. I don't mind it. Keep your colors at hand and change it to a color that you want to use.
Oh, this isn't going to end well for Corsima. I think this is going to end up being, what, about a 10? A plus 10. You're going to hope some of those are perhaps some discard alls, but there is a 0 to work with already. And a 7 now, too.
That's what I was going to say. Corsima is actually probably okay with that. Not great, but okay, because now you can change that hand to somebody else. Not if it's a green, though. Green's not going to help really anybody besides Sasuke and exactly what they wanted. Reverse right back into it. Draw out that last green card. Here we go. The yellow should go to blue here, which means hands will change. Sasuke now is still on 3, still looking good, but it goes again. Another 0. We're Siama now in the lead.
And, well, again, if you're Corsima and Diva, you want either of you to win this. Corsima, imagine a discard all would be so pivotal.
Reverse, reverse. Blues back to yellow. Nobody else has a yellow besides Corsima. They could just sit here and farm. 2 discard alls, by the way, for Diva here.
Yep.
Instead is going to make Sasuke draw, and that's good news based on what's being shown. Diva in a great spot.
And Alex, though, does have the 7, and there we go. The swap comes in, takes those cards right away, but Diva could just play a potential 0 there and take the cards right back.
That's exactly right, and maybe he's going to wait until this moment. No, can't play it. Does reverse back into it, which is fine.
Wow.
Changes the color.
That's huge.
Goes back to yellow, back on Uno again. Draws another discard all. This is worrisome, though. If you don't change it off, and you do, finally. 17 seconds and counting. Alex not in first anymore because of the action card. Sasuke, no. Corsima now in first because he doesn't have an action card. Corsima closes it out here if no one does something about it. Andy wins it all right here, right now. Burn out the clock.
Yeah.
What's your top deck going to be? Not enough to change it. Andy is your Group D victor. By the skin of his teeth, Andy and Diva both moving on, Katie. A nail biter.
Yeah, I feel like Alex and Sasuke, they put up a really good fight toward the latter portion of Group D, but they were able, Diva and Andy, you said it, to come out on top. So that means our quarterfinals, Gojj, they're all wrapped up. We have our semifinalists, but we got to take a look at how Group D got to the conclusion with Diva and Corsima moving on.
Such a fun group. One of my favorites thus far. You had 2 experienced players. They've been here before. They know what they're doing. But they're in this kind of new format, right? Like, you're in a 0-7s game mode, and some of these players haven't done that before, even if they've been here on main stage. We changed it up only last month. So you can see some of these final moments. Obviously, a ton of draws and a ton of discard alls, but the 0s and the 7s, it made everything even more difficult. Even when you're set up for success, you don't necessarily win because of the change of hands, but discard all still reigning supreme.
Well, we saw the gauntlet of the 0-7s, Gojj, but they've got to be able to adapt to the next stage too, because, well, we're going to continue to have that wheel, right?
That's right, yeah. We're going to change up the rule potentially by spinning that wheel. Might not see 0-7s again. Here's some of those final wins coming across. This is a crazy one after Alex's crazy clutch victory, of course. At 8 being played. Corsima 4-card victory because they didn't have an action card. And this is what we're talking about with score. Score does not matter if it's not tied in wins. So regardless of the score count, Corsima comes out on top with 3 wins overall. Diva moving on as well. Our 2 players that have been here before, both moving on to the semifinals. Experience does pay off. 3-2, both moving on. And we have our semifinals bracket. Semifinals A, Fun Tickles Chocolate, Erica and Diva. Semifinals B, Adamte, Corsima, Dan, and Jordan. Now, I will say, before we head to our break here, Katie, I got a lot I want to talk about before we do this. I did get word, by the way, if you saw Diva's profile picture in-game, Diva and Jordan are actually husband and wife, and they both made it here to main stage, which is so cool. Now, what's crazy is that if they can both win out or get second place in their semifinals, they can both walk away with some cash, or potentially both make it to the grand finals, which is wild to see. So some fun storylines kind of unfolding here. But I got to remind everybody here at home before we go anywhere, you've got to go download Uno Mobile for free on your iOS or Android Google Play stores. Is this Uno Mobile gameplay not riveting? Go get involved now. These in-game qualifiers that have been happening all year, you only have one more chance. It's next month. A chance to earn your place here on main stage. Go get involved by downloading the game right now. ! Download. That command will pull up the link to go download it, but you can head over to the app stores to go get involved and go follow Uno Mobile and all of their major socials. We've got some amazing live streams. They do a lot of other rewards and giveaway live streams as well on all of these other social channels that we're live on. And of course, go join that Discord. ! Discord is where that thriving Uno Mobile community is at. And click that link and get involved in the community. Even if you've never used Discord before, they've got some incredible moderators, some of which we've actually seen on main stage before and are through as invitational back in the summer. They'll help you out. They'll get you all sorted. They'll get you in and involved in the community. But Katie, what a way to start things off here in our 07's gameplay. We're going to head to a short break, but before we do, you've got to get your fingers ready to go, because yes, we have some giveaways to give you here in a moment, but before I give you that giveaway, let's do one more trivia. Here we go, Katie. What can you buy with Community Cup coins? Is it A, Community Cup frames, B, monthly medals, C, 5-star card pack, or D, all of the above? Can you buy everything, or can you buy one specific thing? Because when you play the game, you can use your Community Cup coins to get some in-game rewards, potentially some potential medals. Well, it's not medals, potentially, not just the medals. Is it A, Community Cup frames? It's not the 5-star card pack? Or is it? Is it all of the answers? Or is it just the frames, Katie? I think we know what it is. It's all of the above. You can get the frames. You can get the 5-star card pack. You can get everything that was on that list. All of the above was the answer. I love these types.
I like that answer.
Because look, the trivia questions and answers not only are fun and a way to get everybody typing things away before we give them a giveaway, also informative. We're learning here on the broadcast. And I'll stop toying with you folks at home. Here's your final giveaway for this part of the broadcast. Let's bring it up. We got a couple more down the line after the break, but before we head to the break, click this gift code. Click that cogwheel, top left corner of your screen. Head down to the gift code section, click redeem, and type in the number 16, the word Uno Astronomy. Uno Astronomy. If you know what that is, you might know why that word is in there. 16, the number 16, 16, Uno Astronomy. You're going to walk away with 400 coins, 5 diamonds, and 1 4X shield. You'll want these rewards. You'll love these rewards. We've got more coming in the second half of the broadcast. Folks at home, go type in your code, go reap your rewards, and we'll be back in just a moment. This monthly final has been nothing but amazing. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in just a second.
You've seen what's possible from Uno Mobile, but now it's 2023 and Uno Mobile Esports is officially here. We will be doing it big with $50,000 in prizing, with 8 monthly finals starting in February all the way through October, with the top players from each making the November massive grand finale. You can be the next Uno Mobile Esports star. Don't miss your chance to compete for free in the Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup monthly qualifiers in-game and battle your way through live monthly finals for a chance at some amazing prizes, a spot in the grand finale, and a whole lot of unpredictable fun. This is the beginning of Uno Mobile Esports. Do you have what it takes?
Uno! Uno. Uno. Uno.
Uno Mobile Esports is here in 2023, and each month we are hosting a series of in-game competitions leading up to the monthly live finals in February, March, April, May, July, August, September, and October. The top 2 players from each of our live monthly finals will not only walk away with some cold hard cash, but also earn a spot in our yearly grand finals in November. You won't want to miss this intense competition, so get involved now in-app and enjoy some unpredictable fun.
Uno.
You've seen what's possible from Uno Mobile, but now it's 2023 and Uno Mobile Esports is officially here. We will be doing it big with $50,000 in prizing, with 8 monthly finals starting in February all the way through October, with the top players from each making the November massive grand finale. You can be the next Uno Mobile Esports star. Don't miss your chance to compete for free in the Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup monthly qualifiers in-game and battle your way through live monthly finals for a chance at some amazing prizes, a spot in the grand finale, and a whole lot of unpredictable fun. This is the beginning of Uno Mobile Esports. Do you have what it takes?
Well, folks at home, we've had a blast thus far here in the Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup September finals. It has been nearly history-setting with all the different plays we've seen thus far. Of course, I've been your host today, Gojj. I've been here throughout the entirety of the last several months of our Uno Mobile Esports broadcast, and I've got to remind you again, go download Uno Mobile for free. What are you doing if you haven't got your hands on this game? We've been having a blast here on Main Stage playing it, and you can download it for free in the iOS or Android Google Play Store. Also, you can just head down to the link in the description below if you're hanging out here on YouTube with some 900 or so of us and myself here in chat. Also, go follow that YouTube or subscribe to that YouTube and follow Uno Mobile on all major socials. They've got a lot of content going out on all of those social medias. They run other live streams throughout the weeks and the months leading up to these broadcasts. And go join that Discord thriving Uno Mobile community. !Discord will pull up that link in particular. !Socials will pull up all of the Uno Mobile socials all across the board. Now, folks at home, I've had such a blast wearing this amazing hat on this broadcast. In bring you all the action. And that's because of our space collection. It is live right now. Go earn every single card of that space collection deck. I know a lot of you are completionists like me. You want every single card. We've seen a ton of different collections, and this one in particular is one of my favorites. So I had to rep the hat. I had to rep the space. Go get your hands on that space collection. Now, I got to bring Katie back because our semifinals are right around the corner. Now, Katie, talk to me. How we feeling? Some thriving group stages, but the semifinals about to get spicy.
About to get spicy, but what I love the most, Gojj, about these semifinals is that there's the potential for 4 different, even amazing storylines to be converging. We've got a married couple participating. We've got one of our players who I believe, Gojj, is at their friend's birthday party trying to get to the very top. We have Kurosima, who of course has been in these final scenarios many times over. There's a lot of storylines, and that is what I love about how Uno and these community cups bring us all together.
Well, while we take a look at these replays, I don't know if they're watching the broadcast or not, but I'll give a very special happy birthday to Iris, which is where Chocolate is playing this tournament from Iris's birthday party. So happy birthday, Iris. But let's take a look back at what we saw through the group stages, because they were dynamic, some misplays, some great plays, some nail-biting moments, because some of our tiebreakers were literally 1 point dictating who's moving on to the semifinals and who wasn't.
Yeah, and a lot of it, too, came down to these last-minute playing out the time scenarios where someone was in a position to win, but they simply didn't have enough time to play. They had to pull a card, and then it slipped out of their fingers.
And we look back, of course, we talk about the dynamic and the kind of powerfulness, if you will, of the discard all. And this is a moment showing exactly that. Kurosima grabbing a solid victory there. But the 0-7s changed everything. And it was Kurosima and D.Va almost kind of seemingly working together to some degree to move on, because they could with 0s and 7s. And again, nail-biting moments with score lines and point totals, having to do all this math. But as we take a look at the bracket, here are the players that moved on yet again. Semifinals A, that's Fun, Tickles, Chocolate, Erica, and D.Va. Semifinals B, Autumn, Kurosima, Dan, and Jordan. So we have a lot of returners and some newbies all fighting for the final 4 spots. And again, our prize pool is broken down. It's $5,000. But if you make it to the grand finals here in just a moment, you're walking away with at least some cash.
At least some cash, but a potential wrench thrown into things, Gojj, because you had to deal with the wheel handing you the 0 and 7 rule set for the quarterfinals, but now you're sitting here wondering what exactly you're going to have to deal with for the semis.
I know, and I think it is time, Katie. A great setup, because the wheel spin is here. We got to see what's going to happen in the semifinals for both semifinals A and semifinals B. They'll both be using this next rule. Here we go. We're spinning the wheel. Where will it land? It looks like color. No. 0-7 again? No, it does go to the Wild Punch is our semifinals rule set. Now, this house card, the Wild Punch, is one of my favorites. It's near and dear to my heart, and I think a couple of these players will recognize it. Of course, we saw it last month as well, but we also saw it back in the Gold card, the All-Stars event that we had last year. It was one of those cards that was probably the most powerful card in the game because of what it can do. It punches back at your opponent. If you have to draw 2 cards, 16 cards, or 24 cards, you can throw down that Wild Punch to punch right back, not only changing the...
Can I do that to... Can I...
You can punch me when the card is played. That's totally fine with me. I think when we're at the other screen that you got to punch up to punch me, but it makes the other person draw all those cards. So a huge play and a huge game changer to kind of set the tone of this semifinals.
Yeah, that card, wow. If you hold on to that, the wild to end all wilds, if you will. I mean, you've also got to be tactful on when you choose to play it. I imagine some people might want to hold on to it till the end, but if you are forced to play that early, it could end up coming back to haunt you.
Yeah, definitely. And you can play it as a normal wild if you need to, and we've seen players do that time and time again, because a wild card is a wild card, and it's one of the strongest cards in the game in general, just because you can play it on any color. But I think discard alls are going to be everything in these next matchups. We've seen how dynamic those can be and how powerful they can be, sometimes even better than even a wild punch, because it allows you to win. Even if you have 13 cards, if they're all the same color, you get that discard all. Walk away with a victory and tip your hat. Maybe it's a Space Collection hat, maybe it's not, but tip your hat at your opponents. They're not going to see it coming.
How do I get a hat like that? I like it.
No problem. I'll ship you one.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Look, I try to dress up for every single one of these broadcasts just for the people at home to have a good time. But let's head into the gameplay. That's all people care about. Anyways, semi-finals A. Erica, Diva, Fun Tickles, and Chocolate. Who's going to be moving on? Maybe it's Chocolate at the friend's birthday party. Maybe they're splitting prize pool. I don't know. Maybe a gift. Chocolate can make their way into the grand finals. We will see.
We will see. And now 0 and 7s, you don't have to worry about them like you did in the quarterfinals. It's that mystery wild card. I can't wait to see when that gets pulled. See how it affects some of these games. But for right now, we're in regular old Community Cup Uno.
That's right. I got to retrain my brain to not get scared when I see a 0 or a 7 on main stage. I do get a little scared. There's a lot of reverses being played right now, which is kind of changing flow. It's also getting Fun Tickles and Chocolate for the best opportunities. And really, Erica, the only one not reaping the rewards of it this time. Changing the flow, and Chocolate and Fun Tickles both on 3.
And I think everyone may be happy to see that go off yellow, Gojj, because, well, no one had yellow, but Fun Tickles is about to have, I believe, 6 cards in their pocket as Diva has to burn that wild maybe a bit earlier than they wanted to.
Yeah, again, now we can start talking about how +4 wilds, you want to save them till the end, right? Because they're so valuable. You can play them and win on nearly anything. Now when you're not worried about 0s or 7s, they're huge, but some players like to play aggressive, and I respect it. We're about to see potentially another wild. There's only 1 wild on the board right now.
Yeah.
Talk about some traditional competitive Uno Mobile. Now not a single wild card in play. And the only player with action cards is burning them. Fun Tickles now down to 3. Now 2 skips on the board. There's a wild
there we
punch.
go.
Do you keep it or you play it? I think we just play it. Because you can punch up. Now it didn't really punch anybody because no cards were drawn. All of a sudden Diva's on Uno. About 60 seconds remaining.
But we got treated to see that card early on, which I love to see. Oh, red with the discard all on Diva. There we go. Just like that. The perfect play from Tickles into red, and Diva happy to take the first win.
See, it's a fun conversation because when you talk about +4 wilds or just wilds in general, if you hold on to them, everything's fine. You can change color up. If somebody really is fiending for a certain color, you can change it on them. The problem becomes when everybody burns their wild cards. You're playing traditional Uno. You can't change the color hardly at all unless you just have that perfect number matchup. So for Diva to burn some of those wilds early actually set them up for success to say, I've got Uno, you can't do anything about it. I've got the discard all that's red. Boom. Goes all the way around after I play a red or whoever plays that red. Everybody plays on top of it, can't change color. You win. It honestly, a great play, worked out perfectly there for Diva.
Yeah, and Diva, you got to be feeling good. Anytime you can get that early win, it's going to be a smile on your face, and we'll see if Diva can double it up. And well, speaking of doubled up, that is 2 +4 wilds to work with.
All right, here we go. Yeah, a ton of wilds on the board. Fun Tickles, not a +4 wild, but 3 normal wilds at the very least. Yellow. Loved one of those to be a wild punch, because right now you're going to have to draw 4 cards, even with those wilds.
Ooh, and I don't see many discard alls there as well. That is going to be a little bit tough to try and work with, but you'll maybe throw down the skip here. I'll be curious to know. Yep, that's exactly what happens. Maybe just twist the knife a little bit. So we swing back over to Chocolate, but a reverse means that Fun Tickles finally gets to throw down a card.
Reverse. Chocolate now down to 3.
Oh, nice.
Does have 1 discard all. Chocolate probably in the best spot currently, and yes, goes to 2 here, but out of reds, and pretty much everybody is, so we're going to change it up to green.
Imagine a draw here, I would think.
I know, it's tough. These are always the hard plays, and I like to play it. I don't mind the aggressive play. It worked out for Diva last time.
Draw a card.
When the challenge fails, too, I think Erica is saying, why would you throw that out this early? But now Chocolate, the only one with a +4 to work with, and back to green, not going to be helpful to Diva. Unless you get that. Never mind.
Huge draw, and it allows Chocolate to change the color to the color they want. Somebody has to do something about Chocolate, and Erica's going to be too enticed by the discard all. Chocolate, poised, ready to win. Nearly nothing can stop them. Unless somehow a skip is played, and I don't think there will be a skip from Erica. Just a free green card. Chocolate grabs a free and clear victory.
And
yellow, green, doesn't matter. +4 wild, Chocolate. Now, tying up Diva, both with a win.
That was a nice win out of Chocolate too there. You feel so much safer with those wild plays to really be able to close out those games, because if you're just sitting on that wild, you don't have to worry about someone pulling out a 7, pulling out a 0, swapping things around on you. So a nice job from Chocolate to get on the board, and with that +4 could be a decent cushion. I don't think there was a ton of wilds available there, but in terms of tiebreaker scores, not the worst score to have.
Yeah, not a bad score. Oh, 190 points there from Chocolate to actually put them on top overall. But this is what's crazy. I'm not trying to like put this out into existence too early here. Chocolate wins it all today, Katie. I think we might be able to interview that entire birthday party, which would be a good job.
I'd love that. I'd love it. We can all sing happy birthday, Gojj. I'll let you lead the charge.
Okay, we'll see. +12 going to Diva. Tough start from Diva, but again, sometimes drawing a lot of cards, not a bad thing, especially if you can draw those discard alls. Know that you can surprise some folks. There's a wild
Here we go.
Again, they're kind of rare, so you almost want to hold on to them, but Chocolate wants to get it to a color they can play on. Erica, huge draw to go wild here, and it's going to go green.
I don't know if Diva had a discard all based on the slowness of the play. I'm going to say probably not on green. Does have a +2 to skip over Tickles. Chocolate forced to draw, and, well, you're going to be holding that 8 for the time being.
Right. Couple options. Ideally, keep it green. Reverse is
nice reverse
scenario. And, okay, Chocolate smart enough. Doesn't go red here. Potentially hand Erica the victory.
Green.
Diva is going to go green because they know Erica doesn't have a green. So a great play. And again, a top deck drop.
Oh my gosh.
Unreal luck right now. Will it run out?
You still know.
It doesn't run out.
No way.
It doesn't run out. He said, I've got you this time. You don't have a green. I'm going to make you draw cards. Unfortunately,
wow.
Had the one card to win it there. Or maybe the one of 2 cards to win it there. Needed the +4 wild or the +2 of any color. And dang. It's the victory. Unreal luck across the board there from Diva. Everything went their way.
Yeah, I mean, you have to feel good about how that played out, right? Erica's able to get on the board. I mean, you're assuming we know that they don't have green. I'll just play this card. It'll be fine. Just kidding. They had the 1 card, or in this case, 2 cards that were able to close out. Oh, but look at Erica now starting with the Wild Punch.
Red.
Yeah, can actually hold on to it now because they're going to go ahead and burn the +4 wild, which is huge. I think if I'm Erica, I almost played that there to try to bait out everybody else's +4 wilds if they had them and then punch it right back, which would have been a crazy sequence. Doesn't pay off because, well, they don't have +4s. So if you're Erica, do you burn the wild punch now or do you hang on to it? I draw here. It's just not
same.
early.
So would I.
These players are more aggressive than me, though. They're burning them just to kind of set themselves up well.
I wouldn't have been opposed to drawing, especially this early either. But yeah, the aggressiveness, we'll see if it pays off for Erica here. A nice discard, although if Chocolate can get this over to green somehow, unfortunately, that won't be the case. A 9, spoiling what would be a nice Uno.
That goes red. Again, poised and ready to win without anybody knowing what's going on. But a +4 here from Fun Tickles or a draw. Luckily, a +4 does go green, which is what they needed, but has to draw 4 cards. I can only have greens this time around.
Uno.
Okay. Oh, this might be a bait. We could see an Erica win. We could see another win for Erica. Should put her up to 2 because it's going to be baited out. A discard all onto a discard all.
Perfect.
Saw it in the stars, in our Space Collection stars. Erica grabs the 2nd victory of their game, and a massive one to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about it, the bait, the mind games that can go into this. Erica playing that so well despite a rocky start and tacks on 2 in a row. And again, you want to talk about a tiebreaker score. Erica is sitting very pretty.
Yeah, a massive victory in the first one and a massive one in the second one. 479 points. Erica's likely, no matter what happening, going to move on. Would like to just close it out here, though. We'll see. Fun Tickle's in a pretty good spot to hopefully get on the board of their first win, potential 3 wilds in hand. But look, I talk about the attractiveness of the discard all. If you can hold a discard all to the end, other players are going to try to burn it to just catch up to you. And you'll be able to stack regardless of color. It's a very strong strategy. It's really well for Erica. But,
well, it might not work so well if Tickles decides to burn one of those +4s. Does actually just go for the regular wilds, breathing room.
I don't mind it. It's just kind of delaying the inevitable, though, especially
Like
go
right.
to a different color.
Oh, there we go.
+8 going to Erica.
I can't wait. I really hope we get to see a scenario where that wild punch gets utilized on a nice stack like this. I think that'd be a ton of fun.
Blue.
Oh, and well, speaking of, Erica with a wild punch.
Uno.
Nobody going to make the draw
Green.
currently, and Fun Tickle's going to make chocolate draw instead. Now it goes green. Erica, of course, can play on green, but at some level you want to change the color to prevent Fun Tickles, and so you have to burn the wild punch. We haven't seen the wild punch played in terms of like punching back yet. Of course, a nice wild card, but
Oh, and it'll be a +4 on the Tickles. That's huge.
yeah, massive. And you gotta, of course, hope they don't have the wild punch, and hope they don't have the +2 to stack onto it to win.
Draw 4.
Is the case. Does get a wild punch to prevent it the next time around, though. All right, should see maybe another discard all of. It's and simple, about 60 seconds remaining. Everybody playing the cards they have. And huge draw from Diva.
Wow.
Here we go,
You
and it
play
does
the
change
red.
to red.
Play the red.
Diva not only gets on the
Wrap
board
it
for the
up.
second time, potentially with a fairly sizable victory there, could actually go to 2 wins.
Yeah.
It won't rival Erica, but does put you at the top of the leaderboard, which means if Erica wins or you win, you're both moving on.
And Diva, wow, a great play there. That's twice now, I think, today, Gojj, that we have seen the game-winning discard all top deck draw, and this time in Diva's favor. And so not enough to overcome the 479 Erica, but that was a fast, we're just getting rid of everything off rip, Gojj. Everything's going.
Talking about the discard alls, we're already in it. Diva's already on 2 cards, potentially. A lot of +4s, though. Diva's not going to have 2 for very long here, Katie.
No, I don't think so.
I guess +12 going to go to Diva.
Yellow.
Not a wild punch. This is where you would love to have one in hand.
That would be so fun to see, but unfortunately, the only thing Diva's going to see is a whole lot more cards to work with.
Red.
But really, everyone else not in too
Draw
bad of a
card.
situation. Fun Tickles now with a nice +4 could end up closing things out.
Agreed. Gonna elect to hold on to it, by the way. If you saw that quick draw, I was not playing plus for a while. Instead, I'm just gonna draw. Skip comes through, continuing to just draw, sticking to the game plan. In the first kind of 90 seconds or so of the game, you kind of want to save those wilds. So again, having to decide what to do. This time changes to blue.
Reverse.
But the reverse into the discard all puts Erica on Uno.
Oh no. They didn't know that was going to happen, and now you got to think, what do we do? What do we do? Could you skip here?
You could skip.
It's okay to keep it on blue. Instead, it's just not going to risk it. Going to go to yellow. Puts chocolate on Uno, by the way.
Uno.
Oh, wow.
Keeps
Huge.
Erica there as well. Here we go. Oh, you can punch back for 2 and change color to something that maybe you think they don't have. Do you think they have another yellow?
Blue.
Does
Wow,
punch back. So
massive.
here's the thing. Changes the flow of play,
Draw 2.
punches back, Fun Tickles draws 2 cards, and Chocolate and Erica will have to draw. Nearly flawless execution of the first wild punch on screen.
Skip.
Yeah, I mean, an excellent execution, as you said. Erica still in a good spot. I mean, can't play the game, but with a discard all here, do you get the reverse? But it's gonna go potentially right back to green.
What?
Oh, and chocolate. Oh, that's got to be frustrating.
Blue.
There was so many moments there where
Yeah.
Chocolate was going to win it, and then
I
it changed
know.
to the color. They couldn't play, and a draw 4 was played on top of it. This is still anyone's ball game with 45 seconds and counting. Stays blue, a couple discard alls will put Fun Tickles down to Uno.
Look at this comeback from Diva.
And I don't see it going back to yellow, though, here. Gonna stay
No?
blue. Everybody's gonna have to draw. Diva could win it all right here. Could win semifinals A.
Uno.
Oh, that's a huge top deck, but again, you know, Tickles doesn't have blue.
go.
When the yellow comes out, that's where things get potentially spicy, and Tickles able to get it done at the very end on that draw, Gojj. Ooh, Diva, the comeback was almost there.
Yeah, if you're Diva, you're hurting after that one. You felt the win right in your fingertips. It just got ripped out because no draw from the top deck and no one able to change color means Fun Tickles gets on the board. Now, Fun Tickles, that was their first win overall, Katie. So we're still seeing 2 players with 2 wins. It's kind of the same place we were at before. It's actually the exact same place we were at before in terms of score and wins. Because Fun Tickles was actually the lowest scoring win overall. So a lot of tiebreakers, a lot of things going on, but only 2 players moving on. Erica wins or Diva wins, they're both moving on.
No surprise again, some of those discard alls out early. But not as many +4s to go around this time. I want to see a really good, like, +16 wild Gojj. I want it so bad.
We've only seen a +2 thus far. Now, it did really change up the game.
Yes.
Reverse.
So everybody's playing what they can.
Skip.
Nice action cards getting burned. Again, point totals are huge at the end. Might as well burn them now if you can. Sometimes they're helpful to avoid people from winning, but I don't want to get stuck with them.
I mean, point totals, Erica in a great spot with those 2 basic wilds on top of it.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those kind of basic rules of Uno that you can kind of assume players are going to be playing some of their higher value cards, not only action cards, but just 7s and 9s and things like that to hold on to some of these numbers. But right now, everybody kind of playing with it. Got Chocolate probably in the best spot here. Erica might change it back to a green or a blue. And it was green. No, goes blue. Honestly, not knowing that 50-50 choice, if it went green there, we'd be in trouble. Now Erica having to draw 12 because of that choice, forcing the +4 from Chocolate.
And yeah, Chocolate, once again, you said it right, in a good position if you can keep it on that green. But that is a decent amount of discard alls. Who knows? But
just
unfortunately, time's not on their side, though.
Okay, a yellow, not a bad play. This should be a discard all yellow. Now, you know Erica doesn't have any yellows, but Chocolate doesn't either. So we're all keeping track
no one
of that.
will here in just a moment if that 3 is played.
Yeah, point total-wise, Diva in the lead. Again, Diva or Erica winning this means they're both moving on.
Ooh, that blue is really nice for Diva to just sit on that 1.
Unknowingly, just set up Diva for a potential victory, while also setting up some discard alls. Diva down to 1 point and 1 point only. Diva with a chance to win here. Move on to the grand finals.
There we go.
And no one's able to do anything about it. Diva gonna PM a little bit and then throw the card down in the final seconds. Let the time run out. Diva is gonna be moving on to the grand finals, and that means Erica is going with, which means, unfortunately, Chocolate at your birthday party. I'm so sorry to say. Enjoy the birthday party. No cash to be earned. We hope, Chocolate, we see you next month, maybe at a different friend's birthday party, or maybe yours. I don't know. But still, congratulations on making it to the semifinals. However, Diva, Erica, both moving on, and congratulations to them.
No, and hey, Diva, when you talk about Diva and Jordan, that storyline, of course, still alive and well. And I mean, if you're Diva, if you're Erica, you got to be feeling good at how the way that played out.
Here's some of the replays from the semifinals. A fun one. Everyone was able to grab a victory, but there's the top 2 players moving on regardless of score. They did have ridiculous score numbers. We'll see those in a second. It's because of some of these massive victories where some players had a ton of cards in hand. Here's one of them, +2 on the +2 to finish it off. Huge one to look back on, just to give yourself that safety net of the scores, and then a couple discard alls. Again, always enticing to play. Holding on one towards the end is always really nice. Sets you up for success for these wins coming through.
Yeah, and again, I think Erica and Diva just really playing things exceptionally well, especially, again, we just see these top deck draws of these discard alls, Gojj, and they switch everything up for these players. You gotta imagine how good you must feel when that happens in a community cup like this.
And only out of all the games, here's the kind of final moments of the last match here. Diva grabs the victory with that 1, and let's take a look at that scores. Again, massive score numbers, but all that matters is wins. Diva on top with 3, Erica in second with 2, both moving on to the grand finals, both walking away with at least a little bit of cash. Question is, how much, and will we see them in November? Let's take a look at the bracket. Diva and Erica in the grand finals. Unfortunately, Chocolate and Tickles the end of the road. It's time to turn our eyes to semifinals B. Autumn Tay, Horasima, Dan, and Jordan. 2 returners, 2 newbies facing off against each other, and a potential storyline of a husband and wife in the grand finals together with Jordan and Diva. So much on the line. I'm so excited about this.
Yeah, I love this. I love the storylines, Gojj. But what I also love is giving to the community. And I know that I've seen people in chat who seem pretty interested about some stuff that you might have to tell them about.
A giveaway is coming soon, folks. Right after this next semifinals, we're going to have another code for you. So hang in there with us. Cheer on your favorite player. And if you're here on YouTube, I think we're going to have a YouTube poll going up soon on who you think is going to win semifinals B. Would love to see your votes. Maybe I'll shout you out if you get into that voting sequence, because I'll be curious to see who you think's going to win. Got some returners, and so far the returners are proving that experience does pay off here, Katie. So my eyes are set on Jordan and Coruscant in particular.
Well, we're about to jump right into things and see what happens. I know I love those polls in chat. You said Coruscant, of course, someone who has the experience, but newbies, you don't always know what to expect from them, and that can toss things right up into the air.
All right, here we go. An early +4 going to Coruscant. Does draw a massive +4 wild and a wild punch. Coruscant set up for success. It's just a matter of getting to those cards. Jordan also has the same.
I wish Autumn had a +4 so I could see the wild punch. I'm just waiting for that because it's such a fun dynamic to add into these semifinals.
Red.
Yeah, at the very least, even just the threat of someone having one makes you
Right.
think twice about making people draw cards.
That's a really good point.
Here we
I
go.
like that too. You're like, I don't know. I could +4 this and it might blow up in my face.
It goes yellow. Autumn does draw off the top. Coruscant just kind of playing what they can. At this point, we're about to see the wilds unfold. I think there's a total of kind of 6 on the board, and now 5 left.
Draw 4.
This is the first time we've seen 2 wild punches active at the same time too.
Yeah.
Green.
+4. You're going to see another +4 here. A separate draw order, of course,
Draw
means
4.
Dan will draw just straight 4 points. 4 cards, rather. Jordan doesn't have to burn that wild, and instead, just keep it green.
Keep it green, and those discard alls. Oh, that's great if it stays on that red.
Uno.
What do you do for Jordan?
Uno.
Doesn't go to Uno. Doesn't go to Uno. Draws instead. Autumn gets to go to Uno with the discard all.
Red.
I'm Coruscant. I was going to say, I changed it
You're
to red.
keeping it red, absolutely.
And Dan can't. If Dan changes here, you might be in trouble. I know it's enticing.
Yellow.
But I mean, Jordan could change it as well too if they wanted to, but I imagine you just play that too.
Green.
Jordan
don't
doesn't want to
change it
take
to
any
green.
chances. Jordan doesn't know if Autumn has that.
Yeah.
Has that yellow. Is not going to take any chances. Goes green. Coruscant needs green. Coruscant set up for success here. Only player really with a chance to win right now. Goes to Uno and has the wild punch no matter what happens here.
Yeah.
Coruscant wins it. Green draw nice from Dan. Not enough to stop Coruscant's wild punch. Goes to red just to showcase the win. Congratulations, Coruscant. First win of the semifinals.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Katie, experience is paying off right now.
Strong start in the quarters, I believe, had the first win in their group then and has the first win here in Semi B. You gotta feel so strong about that. And that wild punch, any sort of wild card, when you can close out, I feel like the moment they know, they're like, I got it in the bag. That's exactly what happened. But we'll see. Can you get 2 in a row?
Skip.
Of course, I'm already in a fantastic spot. Skip being played, but regardless, 4 cards and 2 of them are wilds. Are you kidding me? Now, Dan has a discard all. Maybe about a card behind in terms of play order, but
Yellow.
let's see. No
Draw
wild
card.
punches currently. Back on that emoji pack. Again, it's in the store. Go get your hands on it. It's awesome.
Red.
Love seeing these emojis. Thumbs up for a wild. I like it.
I identify with the skip card a lot. Coruscant,
Yeah.
that's how I feel when I talk to you a lot, Coach. Just no.
Sure. Honestly,
Yellow.
very fair. Another wild being played. All right, here we go. Here's the +4 coming out, which will be a +8 to Jordan. That puts Dan to Uno. You telegraph and say you have a green, you bluff.
Draw a card.
Interesting. What?
Dan challenged there, was convinced Coruscant
Wow.
could have played.
I
and
did not
instead was
expect
trying
a
to make him draw.
challenge.
That's a big brain, a 5-head move as they call it. It just didn't pay off. It was honestly a good read on Coruscant because, Dan, you had low cards and so you thought they were just trying to make you draw. Instead of stacking, you went for it, risked it all. High risk, high reward. Did not pay off. It was definitely the high risk side of that.
Yes,
Draw
to be
4.
sure. There's going to be a draw 4 onto Autumn, and Well, you can start out with the 0, but I think there's going to be those skips that you want to get rid of. And, well, that's where they're going to start coming out. A skip straight back to Jordan. Keeps it on green and some nice discard alls for Tay to work with.
Red.
I should see another discard all here and potentially a massive blue from Autumn. Oh, wow. No, just going to skip across.
We're going to skip again, straight back to Jordan.
Wow. Red, and if you're Dan, you burn the +4. Only 1:07 left. I think you just got to play it. Start getting involved. And doesn't have a blue. He's frustrated about it. Challenges it again from a different player this time. That's 6 cards going to Jordan. This is anybody's game.
And then you get skipped.
Kurosima in the best spot.
Yes, in an excellent spot.
Red.
Does throw out the Uno. Also, you have to say, is the red a bluff or not? But wow, Kurosima, once again, 40 seconds. It stays red here.
Can't do anything about it.
Play comes in, and it's Kurosima. It's 1. It's 2. Gojj, and it's now close to 3 potential wins for a very snappy sweep into our final.
And those are the moments you look back on and say, okay, why could nobody change the color? It's because we burned all of those action cards. We burned all those wild cards early. So when Kurosima changed the color to the card they needed, he read perfectly. I don't need to bluff here because I don't think anybody can change the color. I'm just going to win. And that's exactly what happened. Now, Kurosima has a chance to sweep. And I'll say it again, sweep. 3 up, 3 down, and move on to the grand finals here in a dynamic fashion in the semifinals B.
Ooh,
decent cards on the table.
Who uses their +4 first? Because whoever does is going to have a bad time.
Yeah, that's exactly right. If you burn the first +4, that means everybody else is going to stack on top, and you're the one going to be drawing. And I will say, I'm getting word from production as a reminder, just because this is a possibility. Now, oh, the +2 was added for a +4. This could be the biggest draw. This will be the biggest draw we've ever seen on main stage. This will be not +18, not even +20, Katie. This is going to be a +24 to Jordan. The biggest draw we've ever seen in Uno Mobile Esports history. Unreal.
Oh no, we're gonna be here for a minute watching these cards stack up, and I hope that there's a discard all on each of these colors, because that I feel. Oh, and the skip, but Dan, don't pour salt on the wound.
This is wild. Okay, I gotta remind people at home, because there's a chance Kurosima could win this right here. If Kurosima wins, it's 3 up, 3 down. Kurosima obviously moving on. Who else moves on is the big question. 0 total scores across the board, so it comes down to hand points, meaning the cards you had in your hands, you want the lowest amount of points, right? Person in second right now is Autumn Tay. So if Kurosima wins here, Autumn Tay moves on. However, Dan trying to get the better of their opponents and potentially be the next person and the only other person to grab a win. We'll see.
Ooh, what kind of... Oh, wow, and does get the punch. Able to at least change things back to blue. Forces a draw at a Dan, and a big one at that. No top deck to keep Dan on Uno.
And again, Autumn Tay's in second currently. It'll depend on what they end up with right now, and they're also looking really good right now. We'll see. But 45 seconds and counting.
Reverse.
And technically in the lead. He's another great draw and gets it. And goes back to the lead. Kurosima hot on their heels, but can't catch up. Not yet. 33 seconds. A nice draw. Kurosima in the lead.
Huge. But you have to draw, and Kurosima not getting super lucky with these top decks. Does get a discard all that could be. Oh, that's massive. Oh, and last Dan, what do you end up drawing?
Another great draw.
On that. Wow, and it swings back and forth. What are these top decks between Dan and Kurosima?
I think Dan's got this in the bag. It goes blue, and Dan can play. Gonna burn the clock out. Goes down to 28. A quick action card. Reverse. Dan has to draw. No, he doesn't. The time runs out. The filibuster play. Kurosima played as fast as he could to make Dan have to draw, but it wasn't fast enough. I believe the clock said 3 seconds. You've got 5 seconds to play. Dan said, I'm in first. I'm going to hang on to my cards. Dan grabs the victory. Job's not done, and it probably won't come down to those hand points, Katie, because now we have somebody else with a win.
Somebody else with a win, and that would have been exciting to see it come down to that hand point tiebreaker, but not meant to be. Dan able to get it done, and well, everyone with wild cards available.
All right, so again, now if Kurosima wins, it's going to be Dan and Kurosima moving on. Of course, we want to see the husband-wife competition, but Jordan's going to have to get a move on. Jordan needs to win and needs to win now, hopefully in a dynamic fashion to see that storyline. I'm unbiased. I'm just saying, if we see that storyline, it would be certainly cool.
This is nice for Jordan, though, because all those +4s have been burned. You're the only one remaining with one in deck.
I don't have to play it now. We're seeing about to close this thing out. Somebody's got to get a move on. Can't play a blue, so has to draw here. If you can get some nice top deck luck, you actually look fantastic.
Red.
Oh no, he's gonna burn the wild.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
and a bit of a bluff play on the red, too.
Yeah, I don't actually mind just burning that wild there. You go to Uno, there's no reason not to at this point.
Skip.
Play your game, make everybody scared of you. Just go discard all here. Jordan, you might just have to burn it a little earlier than I'd like, but somebody's on Uno and goes red. There you go. Challenges
Draw
it.
card.
Draws 6 more. And Dan, you already have the most cards. You might as well have even more. Hopefully grab some more discard also. Wow.
Oh, nice top deck. That's what Corsima was looking for in the last matchup and wasn't able to find.
Corsima trying to close out the game right now. Just go. Just give it away. The bluff pays off. Dan thinks Corsima has a red. Changes it to the color that Corsima has. Green. Locked in, loaded. Corsima 4 games up, 3 of them going his way. But Dan also moving on. So maybe, just maybe, that was on purpose.
No, that is huge. Corsima in the finals, Gojj, and I was not anticipating semis B to be so lightning fast, but that's really, I think, maybe the most decisive win we've seen as we take a look at the replays.
Yeah, and again, Corsima just dominating the competition. First 2 maps, wins both of those. Dan's able to grab a victory here in just a second. And again, I'm going to give some credit to our Uno Mobile players. They're incredibly smart. I think there is a chance Dan gave away that victory on purpose to move on, because he knows I don't have to be first.
I believe
just have to be second, and I'm already in that position. Here's that massive history-setting +24 on main stage. Ridiculous.
+24, imagine, Gojj, there had been the wild punch to the +24. I can daydream about these things, but look, we got to see the wild punch used for its role, if you will, at least one time in the semis, but a lot of fun that was added in.
There it is. I'll give Dan the benefit of the doubt. 1 win to his name means he's moving on as well. Corsima with 3, both of them moving on to the finale. We won't see the husband and wife duo in the finale, but we thank Autumn, Tay, and Jordan for playing, of course. And into the grand finals we go. Let's take a look at the 4 players left in the matchups. Diva, Erica, Corsima, and Dan, our final 4, all walking away with some cash, Katie. The question is, how much?
How much indeed, Corsima? You've got to want to close it out here, right? How many times have you been in a position in these grand finals? But of course, everyone else just as hungry to, if not get first, get second, and of course, book your ticket to those finals.
Exciting. The grand finals right around the corner, and I've got to remind you a couple more times here, this game is so much fun, and if you want a chance to play here on main stage, the qualifiers, for 1 more month of qualifiers right around the corner, you can only do that in-game, so go download Uno Mobile for free right now on the iOS or Android Google Play stores, and go follow Uno Mobile on all major socials. Go give this channel right here, if you're on YouTube with us, click that subscribe button and follow all of Uno Mobile's major socials. If you're over there on our Twitch stream, or you're on the Facebook stream, everybody like and follow all of those socials. They also have a ton of other broadcasts that go on that you want to tune into, because you can win some other giveaways. And speaking of those giveaways, Katie, it's time to give the people at home what they want. Here's another gift code for you. Click that cogwheel, head down to redeem, click the gift code button, and type in 4, the number 4, space stars. Again, we're celebrating that space collection, or the number 4, and then spelled out space stars. You will walk away with 600 coins, 10 diamonds, and 1 4x shield if you type in that code now. Go get your hands on it. Limited total amount of redeems. Type it in as fast as possible. We love giving you codes courtesy of Uno Mobile. We thank Uno Mobile for it. If you typed in your code, you got your rewards. Maybe drop a heart in the chat on any of the live streams that you're hanging out in. But go get your code now. And if you missed it somehow, you didn't hear what I said or saw the code on screen, don't worry. Chat will remind you. They love spamming those codes for everybody to get their hands on them. And don't worry, we have another one right around the corner as well. I'm going to remind you about it right now because we're about to get into the grand finals, Katie. And we've got another giveaway code right after the grand finals. So you're going to want to stay tuned not only for the action, but for more coins, more diamonds, and maybe a couple other things.
Look, we got grab bags for the players. We got grab bags for everyone who's in chat. So Gojj said it. Stay tuned. Stick around because after the finals, after we crown our winner, of course, it's going to be you guys who are winning as well. But it's not the only thing we got to get through, Gojj, because I believe that we might have a little bit of a wheel spin on our hands.
Now, here's the thing about the wheel spin. We got to talk about first what these players are playing for, and then we'll see what rule they're going to be using. I said it at the beginning of the broadcast. You might have forgotten. So let's remind everybody, $5,000. $3,000 going to the team, or rather the player, that wins overall. 10,000 diamonds. And, of course, that incredible nice September badge that they can put under their nameplate. And $1,000 for second, $500 for third and fourth. You're walking away with something, making it here to the grand finals. But also, reminder, the first two players, first and second, the top two, are moving to the grand finals in November, okay? We've got a grand finals event right around the corner. There's only one more month that you can earn these rewards and maybe make it to main stage by playing in those qualifiers. Today is the penultimate, if you will, room to make it to the grand finals. Now, Katie, it's time for that amazing wheel spin. Let's take a look at it, see what rules going to be added.
Ooh, I'm so excited about this. Are we going to get something we've seen before, or are we getting something new?
Here we go. Yes, just barely making it to open draft. Oh, this is one of my favorite game modes to play. We love open draft in this house because it adds in some extra strategy, some extra competition. We've seen it before. We saw it last month. We got it again for this month, and I'm so pumped about this. Open draft is a fun one, Katie. For people at home that maybe haven't played it, you're going to see something a little bit different for some of our Uno Mobile competitors. You're all going to start with 3 random cards, but then you're going to have 4 rounds of drafting cards that everybody can see from the middle. You actually get to pick what card you actually start with. So you can almost build your deck yourself and build out the hand you want. Maybe you got a couple red cards. You draw that discard all out of the draft if nobody else grabs it, especially if it's red. You see a plus for a wild, that's you. It's all yours. Take it. If you're the first draftee, everybody will get a chance to draft first, and it'll go around the board. So not only is there strategy on the cards that you pick, you also get to see some of the other cards that other people pick, so you can try to play around that. Now, quickly, that'll kind of go behind and over your shoulder because, well, people are going to be playing those cards, and they're going to be drawing cards. But even still, the beginning of this game, there's a lot in your brain. You got to keep track of it all because there's a lot on the line.
Yeah, I think not only do you get the potential to pick a very excellent, strong card to be in your deck, but you get all that information from the other players, the colors, the numbers, what kind of cards they have. The question is, Gojj, can you remember all of it? Because if you're me, the answer is no.
Well, these players have battled through incredibly rigorous, in-game qualifiers to get here.
They're
They've
mentally
got the skill.
prepared.
They've got the mental prowess. They can do it. I know chat can do it too. They're always the Uno Mobile experts, so I think they can do it as well. But it's time to get into the grand finals. Open draft is here, and it's already started. First card being drafted, of course, by Corsiema, drawing a blue discard all. Now, there is another one for another player, but if you're not drawing it, it might be because you don't have a lot of blues.
Yeah, I do think there was a blue that it ended up defaulting to, so not the worst pick. Obviously, everyone gets to pick first at least once as we go through this draft.
Yeah, so far, a fantastic draft. The player on the right, 2 wild cards already being drawn. But again, we've already talked about it. Discard all sometimes even better than wild cards in certain circumstances. A pretty good hand here from Corsiema as well at the top of our screen. A couple discard alls for a couple different colors. I just draw another one to just filter it in to get it out of your hand. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. The final draft is at hand, though. Cards being shilled out. Here we go. First game of the day in our grand finals. Let's get after it.
Let's get after it. The 3 goes down. Happy to potentially keep that on red, but Corsiema not too thrilled to pull that yellow out. But now the discard alls come in, and this is exactly what you're hoping for. Get rid of those cards ASAP.
Yeah, everybody knows that everybody has a discard all, so they're all going to play them, and everybody's going to be low on cards. Now, chat, there is a poll going. If you're in the YouTube chat, we've got a poll going on for who you think's going to win. We want to see you vote. I will even shout out who maybe the majority vote is here in the grand finals. I've got my eyes on Kurosima, a long storyline there I'm going to share in a moment. But Katie, Eva, already in a fantastic spot, elects to not play the +4 wild. Erica instead will, and this might pay off here, Katie. Eva might be able to play the +4 wild on Erica because she didn't play the +4. Erica likely challenges. No, goes green. Diva might have to play it here, but it's going to get challenged. Instead, just gives away the win. You have to. You know you're going to be challenged. Erica could have maybe forced it.
Yeah.
Force the challenge out, but instead just says, I hope they don't have green.
Maybe just not comfortable. Yeah, I just maybe didn't fully trust that +4 would work out. And, well, unfortunately, the green certainly didn't. But Erica, it's got to feel good when you get a win like that handed to you on a silver platter, especially when we're in the finals. Let's jump right back into it. This is our second draft.
Okay, here we go. So a wild first usually happens, unless, of course, you need that discard all. We've seen that a couple times where the discard all is drawn first. But wild's oftentimes the first pick for obvious reasons. Again, Diva will grab that. But if you can get a discard all of every color, I mean,
you've seen it.
Success.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a +16 turn into 4 decisive discard alls into a victory.
And notably there was an opportunity, player on the left, to potentially grab another discard all to kind of complete the gambit, but they didn't have a blue. So instead, yeah, +4 wild, we take that all day. So, final draft.
Well, interesting. I mean, you get the discard all for the blue anyway.
Erica now does get the discard all blue, you're right, and now has one of almost every color. Missing the red. Here we go. Who will start the discard all train? Not going to be Diva. Could just skip early. No, just going to go ahead and get the only blue card in their hand out of their hand.
And there we go. Discard all started. Should be the blue and the red out of Dan. Will either force...
Wow.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Didn't want to show that hand just yet. I like it.
Yeah, and I think Dan's also going to try to get everybody else to draw, thinking, oh, they don't have any more blues. They used them. Oh, how about a +4 wild, Dan? Here's +8 cards because of your decision-making.
But look at that, though. You could do the discard all out of Diva. Erica might blow it up, or could...
Blue.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Smart play. Smart play, knowing, again, that there are discard alls still on the board.
Yeah, this is smart. And again, this is what we were talking about reading your opponents. You know people drew discard alls they haven't played. Another enticing opportunity. Erica's got to do it here. Discard all, Kurosima. Quick, second win. First win for Kurosima. Second win overall. Erica with 1. Kurosima with 1. Discard alls, they're enticing. They get you in trouble. And Kurosima capitalizes.
Well, and it can just be so hard at that point to keep track of things as well. You might think maybe someone still has one, but I'm going to take the risk. And, well, Kurosima, much like we saw to Erica, happy to play right into that bluff and throw all those cards down.
I'm excited for this next round. Again, you got to watch the draft, and the players watch the draft, because you see when the discard alls are picked up, you see when the wilds are picked up, and when they haven't been played, regardless of how many cards they have in the hand, you know they're there. It's in there somewhere. It's just a matter of when it's going to actually get played. Now, Kurosima with the chance to do something crazy. Not only finally make it to the November grand finale and make it into the top 2. I'm going to go ahead during this draft. We'll watch the cards being played. I got to tell the people at home Kurosima's journey. Andy played in the debut last December, played in the March finals and placed 4th, walking away with $500. Played in the April finals, played in the May finals and placed 4th again, and is back here in August. Talk about a storyline. Has made it back again for the 4th time in this year, and the 5th time overall if you count the debut from last year. Ridiculous stat line. Still hasn't yet to make it into the top 2. An opportunity to do something big. And looking at this draft, Katie, look at Kurosima's.
Yeah, and that is so huge. To get that discard all yellow, that is very scary. And it starts right off with the discard alls. No hesitation to just get that out of the way.
It's not going to stick with discard all only unless something crazy happens here. It doesn't burn the +4 wild, so it's not. There's still a chance for Kurosima to win. Here we go.
My
One
heart
play
was
this
not
time.
quite prepared for that. My goodness.
Still waiting to draw. Still having
Yeah.
to draw. Coruscant not poised to win, but still in a good position.
When do the +4s get played? Because if it happens now, not just yet, not willing to invest, at least getting it off blue for the time being, will again put Coruscant, if the 4 gets played here as it does, into a nice discard all.
Can only imagine. I mean, if you go green here, Dan, if for some reason Devo bluffs green,
Blue.
doesn't, goes blue. I was going to say Dan goes to Uno is feeling fantastic, but Coruscant would win. We go blue. It's going to be a... No, again, Dan
Wow.
holsters it. In a
And
green
another
draw.
green!
Uno.
Diva on Uno
Yeah.
goes
But
to
now-
blue.
Coruscant gonna be hit with a decent amount to work with, unfortunately, unless they all end up green.
There's
Draw
no
card.
way, right? Okay.
Finally, imagine you're like, thanks for changing it to green now.
Uno.
Thank you so much for that.
Everybody, 2 players on Uno, about to be potentially
Uno.
3. Dan goes Uno. Coruscant knows there's not a lot of people with greens. Let's go ahead and get them all out of our hand. Like,
Yeah.
just get rid of all the greens.
Draw 2.
Instead, is not gonna
Interesting.
leave it up to fate. Gonna say, no, you're drawing cards no matter what.
That's
No.
actually nice because no one could play any of those top decks either. That is a little bit of breathing room for
Uno.
Coruscant, but now this is
Kind
where
of.
you can get rid of those, and that's going to be 2
Uno.
Unos you have to contend with.
And you don't have a discard all you can
Green.
play on this. You got to change it to a color you can use.
Mm-hmm.
It's green, and you know those other players don't have it. Let's stick to it. Another
Wow.
top deck here. Diva. Opportunity to join the other victors. There's the big green play. Nobody can play if it stays on green.
Uno.
Diva with
What?
another massive draw and goes yellow.
Oh my gosh, Diva is having some of the best top
Draw
card luck
2.
I've ever seen.
With the +2, even at forcing them to draw, Diva draws a +4 wild and a +2. Coruscant yet again on Uno with the discard all, if you will, but as it goes back to green,
Yeah.
Diva should win here. 15 seconds and counting. The final moments here,
Wow.
Katie. This is a free and easy Diva win. Nobody could do anything about it. There's not enough time.
Not enough time, and Diva is happy for that. Of course, why not play the 2
Unreal.
throw in the Uno? Not enough time for anyone to make a play. Diva on the board, joining Coruscant and Erica.
Yeah, that is wild.
You said spicy, and you're not wrong.
Yeah, it is definitely spicy, and I'm excited to see what happens. Look, 3 different players with a win, and they're all battling for a victory here because there's again a lot on the line, $5,000 and a lot of glory. Here we go, September monthly finals. Chance to make a name for yourself in the Uno Mobile esports community. Discord
Dan?
alls, great way to do it.
The only one still searching for a win. I feel like we're going to get that, Gojj. Everyone's going to get a win in these finals. We're going to make sure that it's neck and neck. And again, so many of these discard alls.
Yeah, you know what's even more wild about Coruscant's journey, Katie? Looking back on our notes, Coruscant was also a substitute for the August show.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
talk about ridiculous numbers coming through the qualifiers over and over and over again. Right there knocking on the door so many times. Chance to do it again. This time just better their performance a little bit. 4th is the best they've done. They've gotten 4th twice.
Reverse.
Yo. Nobody on match point. It can't get closed out here, but player could set themselves up for success. Again, top 2 are making the grand finals in November, so still a lot on the line even if you don't win.
And this directionally, at least for Coruscant, is nice on the +4s if you want to try and deny Erica. But we'll have to see how it ends up playing out. Tempting. Diva not ready to play it, but does get a nice 5 to at least switch things around. Oh, and what a nice discard. All that reverse gave Diva.
All right. Huge discard all. Diva in a great spot here. Would go to first place with 2 wins. Do you burn it? 2 minutes and 10 seconds. I think you hang on to it. I'm with
Yeah,
Diva.
I agree.
You hang on to it here. Now, Dan drew a +4 wild, which is crazy. Does another one in pocket.
Oh,
Starts
no.
a little bit of the
Yellow.
flow, which means Erica's drawing 8.
Draw a
But
card.
also Dan has a safety net if Diva plays theirs.
There is a discard all on those greens, though, at least for Erica, if they can get into that discard all game.
Speaking of discard alls, of course, Seema's got 3 of them. Let's see. +2 or skip here would actually be great.
You could skip right back. That's exactly what happens.
+2 into it, huge. Dan's gonna have to make the decision. Do I burn the wild now? Only
I think you do.
85 seconds.
Yep.
That's massive for
Draw
Diva.
a
Diva with a
card.
huge chance here to go way up in numbers. The only player even close to winning
Wow.
doesn't even have to
This-
burn the +4 wild. This is free and clear.
Yeah, I don't see a way.
There's not a skip, I don't think.
No?
Yeah, nothing you can do about it. Diva wins in
you go.
dynamic fashion. A lot of cards on the table. Diva has just set herself up to win it all here, Katie. 2 wins and a ton of points means likely we're going to be seeing Diva in the grand finals in November. They're either getting second today or first today. Now, I might eat my words, but math is going to show us that was a massive win. Everybody had a ton of cards, and I spied a couple wild cards.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, that cushion now, 464 points for Diva if there's some sort of tiebreaker to worry about. And 2 wins on top of it. Diva is feeling great over the last 2 games. But let's take a look now how this draft is choosing to play out. Of course, Diva, a +4 wild, a nice way to start.
Good draft here. Look, Jordan's not here in the finale, but he's got to be cheering on his wife here to win it all. And at the very least, we're likely going to be seeing, like you said, Diva in the grand finals in November. But don't count your chickens until they hatch, I believe is the phrase, and we'll stick to it. Anything can happen when it comes to Uno Mobile. It's unpredictable fun. And 3 discard alls being drafted. Player on the left. Uh-oh. Can we see a 4th? Or just take the wild, huh?
I take the wild. Oh,
Whoa.
no. Confident in the discard all plays. I mean,
Yeah.
that is a big signal to the rest of the players on the board, though, because you're also handing Korsima a second wild in this draft.
Well, and I think Erica's thinking was I could go out in 3 cards, and a wild would put me to 4 cards.
Right.
Any cards they play, I can play on them unless it's blues.
Erica was signaling, though, in those draws that they don't have blue.
Skip.
Yeah.
Skip.
I mean, if we're thinking ahead, obviously skips are fantastic. We're going to see several of them here. We go red. Erica has a chance here to just close this thing out immediately. It can't +4 train.
Yellow.
I don't know if they can do
Smart
anything about
play.
it if they go to green, so they got to go to a different color. They do, yellow. Eva just plays onto it, saying they don't have a yellow. We watched them play the discard all, and they're right.
Ooh, you got to be careful, though. At least if that gets played, it should end up changing. You know you don't want it to be that green. Anything
Yellow.
except green.
Yellow, yep.
Yellow it is. And Erica, you're hoping for a top deck that's not
Reverse.
green, something else. But of course, wow, what a play. The reverse is in.
Oh,
right back into
into
a
it.
red, sends it
Reverse.
straight back to Erica.
Nice, Erica's going to have to draw again, and gets it another +2. And this time with the top deck,
Yeah.
it forces out both the +4 wilds of the other 2 players.
Of course, even green.
Diva's got to draw 10 cards, and Erica's going to walk away with a massive victory, potentially.
Draw a card.
Oh my God.
Goes blue in the final seconds with Dan. Saves it there for a moment. Erica was about to have huge points, and again draws another green.
Green is a scary place to be if you're anyone except Erica. And well, the majority of players
There we go.
rocking finally some different color cards landing in Erica's lap. Now Dan,
Reverse.
potential here, has that reverse straight into Korsima, does force the draw on top of it. That's a nice play for Dan, who is still the only player, Gojj, searching for a win.
This card all and Korsima can't play. Here comes a massive discard all from Erica. The hand has been revealed. No more greens. But if you assume Erica doesn't have any yellows still, you're dead wrong.
Oh no.
No. It's the draw. 60
Huge.
seconds of counting. Doesn't change off green though. Dan's gonna win. It doesn't change off green.
Wow.
Dan gets a victory. The only player to not have one in the grand
There we
finals.
go.
The playing field fairly even. Still Diva looking the strongest. But anything can happen.
That is, look, Gojj, I said it. I feel like everyone's going to get a win on the board. That is exactly what happened. Diva still feeling fairly comfortable with the only player having 2 wins and a nice cushion score. But for Korsima, who started out lightning hot, I don't think you can relax just yet.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I gotta say, I'm getting word from production. Korsiyama has been a part of another event, Katie. Korsiyama and Diva were actually duos.
Really?
They were partners in the Duos Invitational we had in June. And given that's the case, I think they got they tied for like 7th or 8th. Given that's the case, he's been a part of like, what is that, 6 different shows at this point? Ridiculous numbers. Still battling for one of the top 2 spots to make the grand finals. Here we go. Draft started. Discard alls, of course, being drafted. +4 wild for Korsiyama. Decent hand going. Really would love maybe a yellow discard all. Doesn't look like he's going to get it this time.
Does at least get the red.
I still think I like Erica's draft the best.
Yeah, I mean, Erica's draft looks very strong. How could it not? Again, using those discard alls so effectively.
All right. We start the discard all train. We do.
Oh, yes, we do.
Yellow,
Skip.
red. No. Gonna keep it yellow and skip. You know Diva can't play on it. So they're gonna both, Diva and Erica will both have to draw here
Red.
or play the aggressive stance.
Interesting.
Diva likes to go kind of patient and hold on to it. Erica starts it, and it actually is gonna pay off for Erica here because Dan's gonna be the one drawing.
Draw cards.
Yeah, and now it's just Diva, though. Take a look. Has the Wild, does have the red discard all. Do you decide to use it? He's so curious, thinking about it, decides no. We'll just do a top deck and wait and
Skip.
see what happens.
A draw from Erica to skip. And you get your last yellow card. No, just keep it skipping. That's perfect for Erica. Erica goes to Uno already. A quick chance to go. 2 card Diva not happy about that play, apparently.
Blue.
No, and Erica also
Draw
not going to be too
card.
thrilled about it because, well, you can't respond to a +6 with just a 9.
Decent
No
draw
Unos
from the
just yet.
+4. Grabbed another +4 wild for Erica and a couple discard alls. Wow, doesn't go red discard all. Instead, just going to try to play some of their blue cards. It's not a bad play.
Not a bad play at all. Now things are moving lightning fast as we only have a minute and a half left here.
All right, we go red. Going to be another discard all for Erica.
Uno.
And you're definitely going to capitalize on this. Korsiyama down to Uno.
Imagine Erica plays +4, though, and switches it over to that yellow. I wonder.
Yellow.
I mean,
Oh.
the problem is if Erica plays the +4 wild, it's going to get challenged here. So instead, just hands the victory
Wow.
to Korsiyama because if you play it,
Huge.
you get challenged. You're drawing cards instead. Just says, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to hope they don't have the yellow. And they were wrong. Korsiyama grabs their second victory. Question is, how many points was it, Katie? Because Korsiyama now with the chance to do something that they haven't been able to do in the last 6 or so shows. Potentially win it all. A chance to win it all and make the grand finals and a ton of cash. I'm unbiased. I just like the storyline.
The duo's back together now.
That's right. Yeah,
They
Diva-
both have their 2
Yeah.
wins. They both actually have similar 400-point score lines for the tiebreakers.
Wow.
This duo, they got to be like mind meld. Just one of y'all. Of course, you want to take first place because there's a lot of money on the line and that difference between first and second. But wow.
All right.
Ooh, these
Here-
are nice for Korsiyama, too. Look at the discard alls.
Yeah, discard alls are strong. 2 different colors for Korsiyama. If you can keep it to just 2 colors, that could be one of the strongest hands you can get. You go out in 2 if it's done right. All right, here we go. Korsiyama still only on 2 colors. Everybody else has a sizable amount of wilds, though. I can't imagine Korsiyama is going to get away with this, and instead, let's pick up a yellow.
I'm so ready for the discard all chaos. I think that's my favorite thing to watch unfold when it comes to events like this.
All right. Look, it still technically is anyone's game. Now, we are on match point. If Diva wins, Korsiyama and Diva both move on to the grand finals, and they get first and second. Korsiyama wins the same as the case. You could see some massive victory from Erica and Dan, though, to get into the mix and have a triple-way tiebreaker. We could go the distance. They could all get 2 wins.
That would be crazy.
All of a sudden, we're playing for the final match no matter what, but here we go.
Still no one choosing to invest those +4s.
Green.
But we do get the swap over to green. Nice top deck. Not going to be so nice if it stays on that green. That's exactly what it does. But a 9 on top of it for Korsiyama. Great plays so far and a nice little bit of luck.
Here we go. Do you unleash the onslaught that is discard alls? No, you just make people draw or make people stack.
Blue.
And it's a +6 to Kurosima.
Draw
A good hand turns into a not so good hand.
Wait, but they're almost all still discard alls depending on how it plays, but do you have enough time to catch up with the discard alls?
Discard all, discard all, discard all. And it goes to Erica. Which color do you pick? You pick blue.
Uno.
Here we go. First Uno.
Blue.
8 cards to Dan. What color does Diva pick, and will it help or hurt Kurosima?
Yeah, that's going to be
Blue.
massive. Keeps it on blue.
Draw cards.
Will force the draw.
Kurosima has to draw 2. All right.
Oh, a 1 though, not
This
the
is
worst,
scary.
especially if you get the discard all from Kurosima.
Where time starts running thin, which we're already at 70 seconds or so. Okay, there it is. Big discard all elects to go yellow.
Uno.
Discard all to go
Wow.
to Uno. Uno, as it's on green. If you skip here, if it gets to Kurosima and it's a green skip,
Yeah.
Diva wins not only the game, Diva wins it all.
Skip.
And it
No,
does.
just like
Skip
that.
to Diva. Diva wins it all. Diva, Kurosima,
Wow.
first, second. Erica in third.
Holy
Dan
smokes.
in fourth. Ridiculous ending to the grand finals of our September Community Cup. Wild. Congratulations, of course,
Congratulations.
to Diva, September champion. Huge victory there in the final moments of that game. That almost went the
Super
distance there,
duper.
Katie.
Yeah, I mean, no kidding. Massive congratulations to Diva. There was not a dominant start necessarily in the final, but was able to close it out super effectively. Congratulations to Kurosima. You didn't take first place, but you finally booked that ticket, Gojj. That has got to feel so good to overcome the adversity, all of the time put into these community cups. Finally, you've made it.
Yeah, finally. Congratulations again, Diva, for winning not only a spot to the grand finals, but also winning a ton of cash to boot. $3,000. Let's take a look at how Diva was able to do it, because it really was impressive all the way through. Discard alls is the name of the game. When it comes to open draft, I know our people in the chat, they were loving it as well. One of my favorite game modes as well. It's just a lot of strategy that goes into it because of the draft of things like your discard alls or the wild cards. They're so crucial when you're able to pick those and actually handcraft your hand. You can set up for some massive combos like the ones we're seeing on screen.
Yeah, and I mean, those combos can really, really make the difference. We've seen how that plays out. And I think if I learned anything from today, Gojj, it's that no matter what the additional rules the wheel may have gifted us, those discard alls are still the name of the game.
I know. That's the thing. Sometimes those rules just kind of get you in your mind thinking about things, but the discard alls is what can win you the game. It's one of the crucial key linchpin cards that you can use to get back into it or close things out. It's kind of on both sides of the coin. So here's the use, of course, of those discard alls, and Dan was able to grab his victory there, which means everybody grabbed the win. But of course, Diva grabbed the final victory, and it was because of some of these strung together discard alls. Erica so close so many times. Kurosima grabbing that victory that set Kurosima up to also move on to the grand finals, and then here's some of the
What a
final
play.
moments. Yeah, so strong.
And there you see it. You called it. If this skip comes in, that's exactly what happened. It did potentially set Kurosima up to a really nice discard all finish if it worked out that way. But of course, Diva with the green to finally throw down says, no, you will take second place. But even look at that hefty score line for any tiebreaker, 639. Diva, a very impressive performance.
Yeah, and I will say, too, the YouTube chat, they did call it. 43% of you in YouTube thought Diva was going to win. The second highest Kurosima at 37%. So congratulations, YouTube, for getting it right, but congratulations, Diva, of course, for winning it all. Let's see their journey to the grand finals. A dynamic fashion didn't come down to tiebreakers anywhere in the semifinals or into the grand finals, but still, everybody shot their shot, and we're so close to making it to the grand finals. But the final four were Diva, Kurosima, Erica, and Dan. Everybody grabbed the win, but Diva on top with 3. Kurosima just barely eking out, getting 2 wins, beating out of Erica and Dan to also move on. But let's take a look at that cash, Katie. We care about it. We love it. Diva on top wins $3,000. $1,000, 10,000 diamonds, and of course, that notable, and you can almost boost your ego a little bit when you put that onto your character, that first place September badge. Kurosiyama, congratulations. After, I think, 6 different shows you've been with us on Uno Mobile, you've made it to the grand finals, finally. So congratulations to you. We'll see you in November. $1,000 as well. 5K diamonds, and of course, a second place badge to utilize. Hey, Dan, Erica, you're still walking away with some cash, so congratulations on that. 500 apiece.
Some cash, some diamonds, and of course, some banners to throw up as well. So congratulations to everyone who made it into the finals, Gojj. And I love how these storylines played out, especially, of course, for Andy finally being able to get it done.
Yeah, well, look, we've given away a lot of cash to the players here, but it's time for another and final giveaway for the people at home. You've been waiting for it. Here's a big one. Final gift code is the number 1 Shining Champion. So wholehearted, so sweet. 1 Shining Champion is your code. Click that cogwheel in the top left-hand corner. Head down to redeem gift code. Type in 1 Shining Champion, the number 1 Shining Champion. 1,000 coins, 15 diamonds, 1 8x shield. Of course, that Uno golden card, one of those to walk away with, see what you can get with it. A nice little reward for hanging out with us here into the final moments of the broadcast. Congratulations to everybody at home for walking away with some things by watching the giveaway, but also congratulations to our winners. I've got one more ask of you, though. We have one more trivia question to throw up on our screen. Get your typing fingers ready. I know they're ready because you're already typing in your gift code. Here we go. Which item can be purchased from the Mattel 163 store? Have you heard about it? I'm about to talk about it. Which item? A, fruit salad card effects. B, Easter bunny emojis. C, emoji Uno card deck. Or D, all of the above. Can you get them all? Or can you just get, well, you can't just get B. Could get A, fruit salad card effects, C, emoji Uno card deck, or D, all of the above. Katie, which is it going to be? I have a feeling I know the answer. Is it just fruit salad card effects? Or can you get them all? Katie, the answer is D, all of the above. I know you folks in the chat knew the answer to that one. You got to check out the Mattel 163 store. I'm about to talk about it here in a second. You can buy a ton of different things in the store, and you can do it online website. I'll show you in a moment. So go check it out. Amazing collections. We already showed you the emoji card pack, by the way. It's so sick.
So fun. I really like it a lot.
Katie resonates with one of the cards in particular.
I do.
Specifically the skip when she's talking to me. But go get your hands on it. It's a blast to kind of showcase your personality in the game through the store. Katie, I'm excited. We actually get a chance to talk to our winner. And let's go ahead and bring Diva in, because I think there's a lot Diva might have to say. Diva, congratulations. First and foremost on your victory.
Thank you so much.
You played amazing. It's good to see you back here on main stage. I know you played in the Duos Invitational with Kurosiyama, but just tell me how you're feeling, because you did it. You won a ton of cash, and we're going to see you in November.
Oh, I'm so excited. I don't even know what to say. I'm so happy. I've played the Community Cup every single time, and every time I just get slaughtered.
Well, that's certainly not what happened this time around, Diva. I want to know, you said, right, you didn't maybe have the best of luck before, and you came here today and you were spectacular. Was there a most memorable part of the tournament for you?
No, not really. All the games are really
just winning it, just taking the whole thing.
I respect that, because Diva, you really did play well all the way through. The big question for me is, you said you were kind of struggling in some of the other monthly qualifiers. What set this one apart? What worked well this time around? Did you have any tips or tricks that you tried to make it to the grand finals and then win it all today?
No, I would just say it was all pretty much luck from the beginning.
Well, you are exceptionally lucky if that is the case. So you have all this luck radiating from you. You have this great aura. How does that play into your typical day? When are you playing Uno usually as you're prepping to win these tournaments?
What am I playing?
When do you usually play Uno in your day? Is it a morning thing, evening, afternoon, all day long?
Usually in the morning and afternoon.
Nice. A little, get some practice in the morning, a little practice in the afternoon. I know you've been around for a while in the Uno Mobile community. When did you first start playing Uno Mobile?
I started playing 4 years ago, And when I first started playing, I was always BKing.
So, what was it like going into this final? Did you have any strategies? Were you feeling any kind of a way? Because, of course, the draft really switched things up.
Oh, open draft is my favorite mode. I love open draft so much. That's my strongest mode.
Oh, wow. So, it just played right into your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. You looked really strong in that game mode, and of course, there's a lot of strategy in that game mode too with your draft. So, only a couple more questions for you. We want you to be able to go celebrate, and I know you've been involved in some of the other communities. Are you involved in the Discord as well? Are you active in there?
Yes, I am.
Nice. What do you think about the Uno Mobile community? Because I know you've been around for a while. You've been playing for 4 years, but I've seen your name several times, and I know you played in the duos. So talk to me about that Uno Mobile community. Have you made friends through there?
Oh, I've made lots of friends. I've made a lot of good friends. Andy is actually one of my good friends as well. But I've met a lot of amazing people in the game, and I'm very, very happy that I've met them.
Well, I've got to ask, as we look forward now that you are our September champion, are you going to be prepping, of course, for the grand finals? Have you thought about it at all? Obviously, you just booked your ticket, but you will be joining us for the grand finale.
No, I haven't. I just won. I don't even know what's going to happen next.
Look, it's that luck. It's those drafts. Who knows?
Yeah, Diva. She was just saying, you got the luck on your side. We're excited to see what you can do in the grand finals. I know you just won, so you don't have to think about it any longer. Just go celebrate. Thank you so much for joining us here in the interview, and we wish you the best of luck in November.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Katie, we got a chance to talk to Diva. Super insightful. You know, sometimes it's funny because some of these players are like, I have so many strategies. I'm able to do this. I'm able to do that. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Diva says, when luck's on my side, I'm just going to win it all. I struggled through the qualifiers, but this time around, won it all. $3,000. So huge congratulations to Diva. And of course, Kurosima, who's also going to be moving on. They've earned it, and experience apparently paid off because Diva in here a little bit in the Duos Invitational, played around with some of those rule sets, but open draft was her specialty. So the fact that we drew open draft at the end played in perfectly for her to win it all.
Look, I think that she was being quite humble in saying it was all luck, because the way that she played those drafts in the finals showed her experience. So once again, massive congratulations to Diva, Kurosima as well, Gojj, and of course, as always, it is such a pleasure getting to join you for these Uno Community Cup tournaments.
I had a blast casting with you all day today, Katie. It's so much fun to have you in here. And I will say, I think we set history today for Uno Mobile Esports several different times, plus 24 overall. But I'll give you a second here. Final thoughts before I send you off and I close this thing out.
A massive thank you to everyone joining us in chat. And of course, I think as Diva echoed it, please make sure you're checking out the Uno Discord as well, because not only are you going to get tips and tricks, you're going to make some great friends along the way. And who knows, you might even see those friends when you book your tickets to the grand final in November.
Great shout, Katie. Looking forward to having you back in here maybe in a couple months. We will see. But Katie, for now, I'll bid you farewell. Thanks again for joining me. And we'll see you the next time you're around. Folks at home, did you have a blast today? I certainly did, and I gotta remind everybody at home that if you want to have a blast in Uno Mobile, you've gotta go download it for free right now. It's the best price out there. It's just free. It's zero. It's no monies at all. Go download right now on the iOS or Android Google Play stores. And of course, I'm gonna ask you again, if you haven't followed Uno Mobile and all their major socials, what are you doing? Go get involved in that Discord community as well. !Discord will pull that up. You gotta go get your hands in that community and make friends. It's a lot of fun in there, and anybody that has never joined a Discord before, moderators are very kind and they will help you out. So go join the Discord and follow Uno on their socials. And look, I gotta talk about something here because I mentioned it before. Mattel 163 store, right? Did you see it? You can get a lot of things. Go get your community deals in the Mattel 163 store. There's a lot of different card packs we showed you. The emoji pack, the Easter. Go get your hands on them, and you can do it in store. There's discounts, there's deals. Store.mattel163.com/Uno. You can see that link down at the bottom of that screen on that graphic, store.mattel163.com/Uno. You don't have to do it all in app. You can actually do it on your computer. You don't even have to have your mobile device on you. Go check it out on your computer. You can type in that web address and go get your deals now. You're going to get some special offers you can only get on that website, okay? And then again, Space Collection, your last chance to get your hands on it. It's live right now, and I've been wearing the hat all day for a very good reason. Space Collection is sick. So, yeah, you're going to want to get your hands on it. Go earn those cards, build out your deck, and earn every piece of it that you can because time is running out. Now, look, folks, I got to slow it down here for a moment before I close it out because we only have one more monthly final left before the November Grand Finals. It's next month. It's October. The qualifiers right around the corner. Go get involved. The next live stream event is going to be on October 27th, okay? October 27th, same place, same time on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook, on TikTok. We will be live showing you the final 2 players that will make our November Grand Finale. There's a ton of rewards you can earn from doing the Community Cup, even if you don't make it to the Grand Finals. Those qualifiers are the 1st of the month through the 10th, okay? So go try your hand at it. Some of these players really struggled in some of the other months, but figured it out and made it here on main stage and then even made it to the Grand Finales. I'm looking at you, Eva. You did it. And a lot of people might be able to follow in your footsteps. But only 2 more spots available. So last month is next month. October 27th, we'll be live here doing more giveaways and seeing who will make it there. But folks, that's all I've got for you today. I had so much fun being your host. As always, I'm Gojj. And if you enjoyed today's broadcast, again, drop that like, drop that comment, talk about maybe your favorite Community Cup player, who knows. But this time, next time, in about a month or so, I'll see you here on main stage. But until then, I'm going to be signing off and bid you farewell. Have a great weekend, and until October 27th, rest well and get ready for that Community Cup.
Uno Mobile Esports is here in 2023, and each month we are hosting a series of in-game competitions leading up to the monthly live finals in February, March, April, May, July, August, September, and October. The top 2 players from each of our live monthly finals will not only walk away with some cold hard cash, but also earn a spot in our yearly grand finals in November. You won't want to miss this intense competition, so get involved now in-app and enjoy some unpredictable fun.